Oh, my order's all the way around there.
Don't hate. Hydrate. Ba, 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 ba. Ba, 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 ba. I listened to that on the treadmill today.
I told you, it's really good for that, isn't it?
Mm. The whole album is. It's very good workout and or running music. This is what I like about the popification of musical theatre.
Huh?
It gives me a lot of good workout options. And
That's true, I see that.
Say what you will about a jukebox show when, what is it, with the bubble wrap tap? My brain keeps saying Head Over Heels, but it's not. Huey Lewis. Oh my God.
Heart of Rock and Roll.
When Heart of Rock and Roll dropped its cast recording, I was like, I can run to all of this.
I see that.
Great. I'm going to take a selfie.
Hello!
Oh my God, hey everybody. Oh my God, hey. Hello, Scott. Oh my God, hey Amanda. Amanda, bless you. It's because
I knew that was going to happen, so that's why I went that way.
It's because I read Amanda and Palmer at the same time, so I went Amanda. Oh my God, hey Amanda in Sydney, Australia. Hello, Polly. Hello, everybody. We're going live from the living room. Amanda. Yes, your name is now Amanda. Apologies. Did it work? I have my eyes closed. Yes.
Hello!
Just telling Instagram that we are live so they can come and join us.
I just hit go live on TikTok.
Hello, William in Reading. Met you at Musical Con last year. Are you going to Musical Con again this year?
Yeah, where is everybody watching from? Always my favourite question.
We have Amanda from Sydney, Australia. We have William from Reading. Hello, you two. Hello, Tanya.
Hello.
Hello, Archie. We are well. We are good. We are tired.
We are close enough that I can take my glasses off because they reflect.
It's been a week.
It's been a week since we were live?
No, as in it's been a long week was what I was going for.
What day were we last live? I actually want to know if we've been consistent.
We do it like Friday, Saturday.
Yeah.
Every week, yeah. I've been trying to...
Oh, Hamburg.
Who's in Hamburg? Hello in Worthing. Hello in Hamburg. Guten Abend to you. Are you excited for the new shows coming to Hamburg? MJ, Das Musical, and Julia?
I'm excited for Julia.
Okay.
It's interesting because the two new ones have English songs.
Do you know what?
We've not experienced in... You actually haven't have it on to see.
I can't read the subtitles on this side, but the comments on this side, but I can wear these.
Should we switch?
I look like...
Should we switch?
I look like Brains from the Thunderbirds a bit, or I look like the bullied child in every 90s cartoon. Yeah, I'm struggling.
Let's switch.
Theatre World Brighton has an open day tomorrow.
That's really
Enjoy.
Cool. I went to an open day at the Birmingham Rep and it was really cool. Two, I think. I've been to 2 open days at Birmingham Rep.
Switch. Hello in Cambridge.
I need you to go behind. Oh, okay. Am I going behind?
Just move, chair.
Hello.
You do not have to do yourself that dirty, Mickey. Did I? Oh, Brains from Thunderbirds.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone on TikTok as well. Hello. Our first question always is, where are you watching from?
Where are you watching from?
It's very chill chat. We are.
How are you? Well, we're not sure yet if you're going to Musical Con. That's okay. Neither are we. All good.
I mean, we likely will.
Yes, we probably will, but we can't confirm
or deny
or suggest or infer.
Oh,
what have you seen this week is a great question because it allows us to tell you about the week that we've had.
Yeah.
And 4 shows Monday to Thursday is what we've done.
Yeah.
Which is that's not wild for us. We can do that. That's pretty common because we're very lucky. But we've had
been a lot of events as well.
4 daytime, often early morning press events on those 4 days.
Yeah.
So they've been full London days, which is a lot.
It has been a lot.
Because we went to the Clueless launch, and then we went to go see the media night at Guys and Dolls.
Yes.
For the 2 cast members who have joined, for Michael and Gina Beck. Then on Tuesday, it was the Rocky Horror media call. You've already seen some stuff from that on Aaron's TikTok, and then today on my TikTok and my Instagram, because I got to interview Richard O'Brien.
Which was crazy.
Oh my gosh. And I didn't know, little piece of, if you don't know Richard O'Brien, the original riffraff in the Rocky Horror film, but also the writer, the creator of Rocky Horror, of the Rocky Horror Show, and you may know him as the host of The Crystal Maze. He's an icon. But I didn't know that was going to be happening. That wasn't part of the interview call.
There was nothing that said, "Oh, this is going to happen."
No, it was meant to be other people.
He just appeared, and it's like, "Oh, okay."
And as soon as I saw him, you start to, when you go to a lot of these things, you ready yourself for any possibility. And if you're put in front of someone iconic like that, someone whose time you don't want to waste, or who you don't want to embarrass yourself in front of, you better be prepared. So as soon as he entered the space, and they didn't say immediately he'd be doing interviews, but he came into the auditorium at the Dominion, and I was like, start thinking about what I would say to Richard O'Brien. And then someone said, if you want to go and speak to Richard now, and I was like, okay, that is happening. And I was just like, get yourself in check. But yeah, so that was Tuesday. And then in the evening of Tuesday, we saw
The Play That Goes Wrong 10th anniversary performance.
10th anniversary gala of The Play That Goes Wrong.
And they have really cool new programs if you go and see it during its 10th anniversary. It's The Ledger.
So cool. Yes, it's
The
over
Ledger
there if you want to go and show it. Very cool program.
I need to grab a glass, actually. So that
we went to West End Woofs, James. The last one, we didn't go to this one because we were in Edinburgh at the Edinburgh Fringe. And Opinion on Fiddler on the Roof, we haven't seen it yet, unless you just mean the whole musical. We both really liked the last revival at the Playhouse.
Yeah.
But I've heard Regent's Park is lovely. We were away when it opened. We've been trying to see it. We queued up for returns one night in the park, and that didn't work. This is the program.
Yep, this is the program themed after The Ledger.
It's so cool.
But it has every cast that have been in the West End production.
Indeed it does.
Which is really cute. So they're selling this now. And we got a little sticker. Because we were there on the 10th anniversary.
Yeah, that was Tuesday. Wednesday was Why Am I So Single media call in the morning. Which, fun fact, if you've seen the production photos from Why Am I So Single, those were taken at the media call.
Yeah.
And if you've seen anyone posting video of a few numbers, that happened at the media call. And then we saw the show that night. And then Thursday, Buyer and Seller with Rob Madge in the morning, interview pending, stay tuned. And it was last night, Rocky Horror. Then we saw Rocky Horror in the evening. There you go. So that's been the week. What's everyone else seen this week? Has anyone been to the theatre?
Anybody been to the theatre this week?
Is anyone going to the theatre at the weekend? We tend to do it because the way that it works for the industry is we see more in the week and then we don't see stuff at the weekend necessarily.
My friend Sean always sees stuff on the weekend.
Yeah, and most people, like when I used to go to the theatre as a theatre goer, I would only ever see stuff on the weekend because I do like a 2-show day on a Saturday and like a Friday. And
David asked, what was it like interviewing Richard O'Brien?
Oh my gosh. He was lovely and quite sort of, how to describe him appropriately. He was a little mischievous, a little playful, but just like this very charming man. I'd seen him in the show about 10 years ago when it came to the Playhouse. They did this anniversary gala for it there, and he was the narrator. And I think I got to meet him afterwards. I think I went to the stage door and met him. He's a very lovely man and tells wonderful stories. And he said beforehand, it was like, just like, keep it light. Like, I don't want to do anything too heavy.
Be careful what you say.
No, I'm not going to go into all of it. But and he then like took it to much more interesting and profound places than like the very light questions. I wasn't asking like particularly hard hitting stuff. I was just like, this show is amazing and has a huge legacy. Where did it come from, and what do you make of that, basically? Sorry, I'm just trying to post about this on Instagram.
Let me see if I can answer some questions.
You go right ahead.
I have a question. I know we have Ryan asked, I have a question. I know we have the Pro Shot on Disney Plus, but do you think a film of Hamilton akin to the Les Mis Mean Girls film would work? I think it could happen, but I think it will be a while. Because I wonder if Disney already owns now those rights because of. I wonder if there's something that's linked there. But I also wonder. I also just think Lin-Manuel Miranda's way too busy anyhow, and I don't know if In the Heights. And like Lynn's doing Warriors now, and the Lion King film over Mufasa over Christmas, and like I just and like there's gonna be more Encanto, so I just feel like it's a while away, if that makes sense, if it happens, but it could happen.
For that question I don't think the Mean Girls or Les Mis films did work necessarily. Les Mis more so. Les Mis I just have a few grievances with, and I think it was not the worst. Mean Girls I really didn't get on with particularly well. And Julia started rehearsals this week. So exciting! That is the German production
really cool.
of And Juliet
With Wilhelmine
Verkuyk, who I dare say many of you will know because huge musical theatre star in mainland Europe, but also did Wicked in London and on Broadway, and is the actress who has played Elphaba in the most languages, in the most different countries.
Oh, I've seen a question that only you can answer. Which is the better version of the Wild Party?
I don't know the L'Accusa version.
I don't know either version, so I don't.
And I haven't seen either. I don't believe the Lipper version can be legally produced in the UK. There's some weird rights.
There's something odd because I feel like it's known by everybody that it's a thing that can't happen.
There's something like that, yeah. But I know the songs from the Lipper version. I've listened to the cast recording. I haven't ever listened to the L'Accusa. I ought to. It's one of those things I always mean to get round to. What else do we have here? Looking forward to coming down to London for the day on Wednesday for a cheeky matinee. What are you seeing? Or are you going to decide on the day? Because I feel like for a midweek matinee, tickets are easy to get, especially in September. So you could make a last-minute decision.
Oh, the Outer Hebrides.
Where is that? Scotland?
Scotland.
I was going to get there.
You got
I got there. I'm bad at places, if anyone hasn't been caught up on that.
Which is surprising when you think how many places we went to. And that we managed to traverse Canada.
If we've been there, like, I'm good at travel. I'm not bad at travel. I am good at travel. I'm bad at places.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody. The L'Accusa version has some incredible songs.
We're not at the Broadway flea market this year, sadly.
We are not at the Here we go. I'm going to do a plug. We are not at the Broadway flea market this year because I will be appearing live on stage in MickeyJoTheatre Live at the Phoenix Arts Club in London. That is beneath the Phoenix Theatre where Stranger Things is playing. It's in the heart of the West End, Charing Cross Road. And if you want to come along, you can come along. We have many tickets remaining. I will be joined by the brilliant Jodie Jacobs, who is currently appearing in Hello, Dolly, which closes tomorrow. She's been understudying Imelda Staunton all summer. Imelda hasn't been off, so Jodie hasn't had the chance to go on as Dolly. And maybe at my show, you will get to hear what that might have sounded like. Hint, hint, buy a ticket. Also, Evelyn Hoskins is going to be there. Maybe I'm going to make her sing a song from 42 Balloons. The composer of 42 Balloons, Jack Godfrey, will be there. It's very exciting. And if you are not in London, you can join us via live stream for the low, low price of £10. And there is a link to those tickets in the description of this YouTube video. For anyone on Aaron's TikTok, right after you're done with this, head over to my Instagram is probably the easiest place, where there's a link in my bio to get tickets to MickeyJoTheatre Live. And if you're not free this month, we're doing it every month for the next 3 months, September, October, and November. How exciting. So that's the long answer to why we are not at the Broadway flea market.
Let's have a look. Hello, Cambridge. Answered that one. Oh, Tanya, I hope you have fun going down to London for the day on Wednesday for a cheeky matinee.
Yes, I've done some of these.
Yes.
Greetings from Madrid, David. Here we are becoming one of the musical theatre capitals in the world. Madrid is getting a brand new theatre, I hear, from Stage Entertainment.
Ah, Kate's here. Hello, Kate.
Is Mrs. Doubtfire the musical closing down in London? It certainly is. It will play its final performance in April of next year, so you still have plenty of time. You have 2 terms of the academic year to go and see it. And then I expect, I don't think they've said, they have said it's going to tour.
No.
There was
Oh, I don't know.
in the press release, she said like she's taking the show on the road.
Oh, there may
It
be.
alluded to it.
I think it was a hint to it, but they've not officially announced it. It's not like had
Yeah.
an article that said specifically.
Yeah, and it's not closing because it's not selling well. I just looked at tickets earlier. It is still selling very well. It is closing for a specific reason, and I'm going to talk about what that reason is for those of you who may not know on Monday. New video coming on Monday where I will explain why Mrs. Doubtfire is closing, and we're going to talk about what's replacing it because that's going to get announced on Monday.
Oh, interesting. Well, we think.
We're pretty sure.
Aaron's doing Young Frankenstein originally,
Oh.
but it's an edited version of a West End production.
Now, I can't think that there were that many differences between the Broadway and West End productions because we both saw it in the West End and I had watched the Broadway version via Bookman. I think largely similar from what I can remember.
We're being Kate's radio,
Hmm.
which I think is perfect.
You're listening to Radio Aaron and Mickey Jo.
Thoughts on Clueless the musical coming to London? To be honest, after the press launch, I've got a lot more excited for it because the music and the writing of it intrigues me a lot more. It feels a bit more like Legally Blonde style of putting a musical together rather than it feeling kind of let's just do a musical on stage. And I'm excited because Katie Tunstall seems to love musical theatre. This is the second musical that she's written that we know has done workshops and is in the process. So she is committed to musical theatre, and you can feel that. I'm just intrigued to now see what we heard with her performing it in the very Katie Tunstall-esque style, which sounded amazing.
Yeah.
But now hearing it with musical theatre performers with a musical, with like the band and the orchestra, and not in her very unique style of performing.
Yeah.
But I think it's going to be good.
Yeah. No, excited.
I have good vibes. It's very good vibes.
Nathan's watching from Wet and Cold Worcester. Hello to you.
Hounslow.
Sheila's watching from Hounslow. Oh, Outer Hebrides, that's where we got to. Hi, Cassidy. Do you have any tips for young reviewers other than the ones in your video? This was my video not too long ago about how not to review theatre. I think just doing it, just practicing. I spent a long time writing reviews just for myself, just until I was happy with them, until I felt like I knew what I was doing and I felt like I was doing a good, thorough job before I ever shared them publicly. So just like everything you go and see, even if you're not there to review, you bought a ticket, you went with friends, whatever, just like formalizing your thoughts afterwards, writing it down, just getting into the habit of practicing how to, before you can write about something, it's learning how to watch it through a critical lens. I think that's my thoughts anyway.
Any news on the Hunger Games on stage? So from my understanding, we've had nothing since they said that it was going to be coming at the end of this year, which I do not believe is happening. But I do think it won't be long, probably, till we hear something about it. I don't think it's not happening. I think it is happening, and I think they've probably been quite clever because it's given them a bigger gap from Stranger Things opening. But I think my gut instinct is that it won't be in a traditional theatre.
Hello in Leicester. Hello in Windsor. We were in Windsor
not
too long ago because we went to Legoland.
Yeah, on Friday.
Last
Friday.
And we vlogged at Legoland.
We did.
Because we spent all day at Legoland and then we went to go see a West End show in the evening, theme park and theatre day. Who knew that was possible? And that vlog is coming out on my YouTube channel tomorrow. I'm so promotional, but honestly, everything is just like teeing me up for fun announcements. Enjoy Henry Fraser's. Where in the world is that? Henry Fraser's Art Gallery. Going to Henry Fraser's Art Gallery on Sunday. Whereabouts is that? Is that London?
I think that's like the South Coast.
The family isn't from the South Coast. The family is from like High Wycombe, somewhere around there.
Interesting.
I believe, because there's a line in Little Big Things. So Henry Fraser is the artist whose life and family are depicted in the musical The Little Big Things that was at Soho Place. And there's a line in one of the songs where they're like, Christchurch Harbour. And I got really excited because I was born in Poole. I grew up near Christchurch. And then I Googled where the family was from, and I was like, what's that boat doing in Christchurch Harbour? I grant you, they're not from near the coast, so they had to put the boat somewhere.
Yeah.
But I was gaslit into thinking the whole family was from Dorset. And they play a lot of rugby, which didn't surprise me. But turns out, no.
Oh, this is funny. I need to tell you right now. David put Operation Mincemeat talking about star casting for Broadway. Who would you cast and as who? But then what made me giggle was Scott's response. Scott Page, the amazing Scott Page, just put James Corden playing every role, and I'm just like, that's actually hilarious.
That is hilarious. Operation Mincemeat star casting is hard because it's a very demanding show. I think look to Star Kid alumni, look to Saturday Night Live alumni. It's not, you don't need to be seasoned musical theatre performers because it's not
it's
a big
comedic.
There's a couple of lovely vocal moments, particularly for Hester and Jean. Our shoes have finished in the washing machine. Is that going to keep beeping if I don't return?
Yes.
Off? Okay. Largely, it's about the comedy and about the characterization. So yeah, Saturday Night Live alumni, Star Kid alumni, maybe one of each, but neither of those are like superstars.
It's also tricky because I don't know how like the UK fan base will react if it's not our originals being there. It's all very
when it comes to the UK fan base aren't going to sell it
exactly
in New York. What it should be doing, and I'm going to talk about this in a video as well because it's annoying me, what they should be doing is going off Broadway before they go on Broadway. Their entire success in the West End at the Fortune Theatre came from this slowly forged route. They took so long to get to the West End, and they forged such a deliberate, slow path. They did New Diorama. They waited months. They did Southwark Playhouse. They waited months. They went back to Southwark Playhouse. They went to Riverside. They went back, they did so many off West End runs before going to a small West End theatre. If they're going to now try and open in a country where they have no word of mouth at a theatre that's bigger than any of the theatre they've ever played before, where they have less name recognition, that seems bizarre and foolish to me. Just saying. I'm going to go turn the washing machine off. I've been washing shoes.
That was also probably good timing because he was getting into. So I watch. I don't know if anybody's heard of Adapa Daniel, but I watch her podcast and listen to her podcast and her other stuff. And so I was just about to say he's going into a ratatouille. So I love that phrase. It's fun. Yes, Stranger Things is going to Broadway. I have announced that. I think they've announced the theatre as well. I don't want to say it loud in case I haven't. Let's have a look. Oh, more people from Madrid. Hello.
That works quite the treat on your sketches.
Oh, lovely.
Yes, and the Nutella from the Edinburgh Fringe. If anyone watched my Edinburgh Fringe vlog and I got Nutella on my shoes, it came off. Don't worry, there we go.
Yay.
You can all rest easy now.
For friends who are watching on TikTok, I believe I've set the live goals and the thing. I still don't really understand them, but they're there. So we love the emojis. Yes, so Stranger Things is going to the Marquee Theatre on Broadway, but before the Marquee Theatre, before that goes to the Marquee, we are getting Elf with Gray Henson. So the West End's not getting Elf this year, even though it had it. Even though I feel like people expected it to return for a third year at a different theatre from the Dominion because the Dominion's got Devil Wears Prada.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, it's going to Broadway.
It is.
Thank you, Chloe, for the brat emoji. That sounds really weird when I say it out loud. You posted about that on stories today.
Because I'm wearing an all lime green jacket. And I was like, it feels like I'm trying to do a Brat Summer thing when I don't particularly know what that is. What else do we have here? What shows are you most excited to see come to the West End soon, asks Cassidy. Titanique. That is where the excitement is.
I'm very excited for when we get the casting and when we get that vibe of it.
Hey, Dylan.
I will be there many times because I will say that is one show that you can go back to so many times because the improv in it just makes it so fresh. And I think once we find out who's being in it, I'm just going to get so excited.
Yeah. Dylan, how have you enjoyed the shows that you've seen so far in London? I'm curious. Let us know.
We haven't heard anything more on the Shuck transfer.
It's
But I expect at some point. I think once the tour starts, I feel like there's a like Shucked and specifically Shucked and The Notebook.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're two musicals that are going to start their tours, and then a while after their tours happen, London news will get maybe the same with, and probably the same with something like Get
I was
Hot.
going to say something
Like all of these shows, I think we're getting a new trend where musicals do Broadway, first national tour, then West End, and for the first national tour, get to the first lot of edits. This sounds like I'm saying that first national tours get a very weird like tester, but I feel like they make their changes from the Broadway run, that like for their future life, but because nothing gets critically or specifically judged, or it's not like an awards thing, the tours, it means they can make the changes, know that it won't affect the show because the show's being billed as the Broadway tour. And then it means that they've had like a tryout for the West End, because when you open in the West End, you're being judged for awards and everything. You can't, that's your West End shot done.
And there's form for this. The reason he's saying this is because shows before like
Frozen,
like Mrs. Doubtfire, like Mean Girls, have all made changes post-Broadway to the national tour productions that have then been enacted on further ones.
It feels like a thing that we're seeing more and more often.
Hello from the edge of Times Square. This was so long ago, you may not be there anymore, but enjoy the edge of Times Square.
That's so cool.
I have a Mickey Mouse t-shirt and I think about you. There you go. My dad is called Michael and my mum's called Jo. Oh, that's so fun, William. Have you seen the new Beetlejuice film? I haven't seen, neither of us have seen the first Beetlejuice film.
I know, we're going to be so roasted for that.
It's tonally, from what I understand, it's tonally very different to the stage musical. Any Europe theatre trips planned? Maybe.
I love how you say that, and I'm like,
nothing is booked.
I was going to say, nothing's booked.
Nothing is booked.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I suddenly realised, yes. Is Burlesque coming to the West End? I think that's the hope.
It's going to try to.
I think that's always been the hope. This Manchester, Glasgow, Manchester situation is tryouts and trying to hone it and trying to
you don't get the
there.
rights to a property like Burlesque to put it on stage.
You also don't get Christina Aguilera to produce it. You don't get Jackie Burns to fly over, Todrick to fly over.
Just to do it regionally in a couple different places for 2 limited runs in the UK. The intention is absolutely to do it in the West End, but we are so full up in the West End at the moment. So many shows have opened that are going to run for a long time. Where we had a lot of like limited runs turning over in the Savoy. That's now going to be Mean Girls for a while. Jamie Wilson has a lease on the Shaftesbury Theatre, so only his shows are going to be going there. Devil Wears Prada is hoping to run at the Dominion. We will see how that opens and how that does, because that's a big theatre to sell. Back to the Future is still running at the Adelphi. A lot of these theatres, Moulin Rouge at the Piccadilly, where we were previously seeing like limited runs and shows could come in and out, there are fewer options now, especially for the kind of prime real estate that a lot of transfers and new musicals really want.
Dan Buckley. Hi, Dan.
Hello, Dan.
Said first one is on Netflix. Beetlejuice, yeah.
Beetlejuice.
But also, Louis or Lewis?
It could be either.
Let me know. But I forgot about The Book Thief.
The Book Thief.
And you know, it felt like that was a musical that was... The Book Thief originally, with its original staging, made me think it was going to try and aim for At Soho Place, and that was its plan, because it was originally in the Round.
Where was it produced? I forgot. Somewhere up there.
Where Marvelous was.
Oh,
I believe it was first there. I think, if I'm correct.
Was it really?
No. There we go. Bolton Noctigan. Which is also in the Round. So the original version was in a version that could go to At Soho Place. But then its second production that it had, where it did the Midlands, where it was a commentary and did that tour, it turned like those productions. Then it went into pros. So then it felt like it might have been like originally I'd have thought, oh, was it a show aiming for like the Garrick?
Well, we
Free
thought
Us
about
Knowing Why My Single.
Identical as well.
Yeah, Identical
think
was another show.
There's a lot of shows regionally. Have we seen a decline in regional to West End transfers? Because there's a lot of shows regionally that started up that
I think
have
there's a lot
struggled
waiting
to come in. Because What's New Pussycat was another one that was said to be trying to come in.
I think we were at a place where Broadway transfers were actually starting to come through.
Callie,
We had a delay.
enjoy Mamma Mia tomorrow night. Louise, Elsie Fest did look incredible. We were following along via
Rachel
our
Zegler
friends.
going full out.
Romeo and Juliet me. Do you think she's such a theatre girl? Do you think she was like, I'm going to do this song
Yeah.
because I know that I can do this? But like, she was not just getting to that line and being like, oh my gosh, a Romeo and Juliet reference. Like, who knew? She knew.
She knew.
That was
She's
planned
so
and
clever. She
calculated.
knew.
Yeah. Everyone going to see Prima Facie, Inti who went to see it. Hope you enjoyed. Enjoy the Rocky Horror Show tomorrow, Sheila.
We really loved it.
Are you wearing a Rocky Horror outfit? This is always my question. Haven't been this week, but saw Sunset Boulevard. Oh, in Sydney. Amanda, what did you think?
Olivia, you're giving to be Amanda.
It's Amanda. Amanda and I know what the joke is. It's a reference between the two of us.
Grant, we would love to be at the Wicked premiere. I know they've announced the date now, but
I'm going to manifest that we make it. To
everybody just manifest for that.
Occasionally, I'm going to be very honest. I'm going to be incredibly honest right now. We get to go to an exciting number of screenings, and I think we'll probably definitely get to go to at least a screening of the Wicked movie, because we've been invited to a lot of movie musical screenings. We didn't for Mean Girls.
No. But I don't think any theatre person did because the musical was coming.
They didn't want to touch on it being a musical either. When it comes to premieres and like doing those like press junkets, when you see that on socials, they often reach out to just like bigger following creators who are not specifically from the musical theatre realm. And sometimes they do a great job. Hannah Lowther got to do it for Wish.
Yes.
I think did a great job.
Hannah was
and is from the musical theatre realm, so
Yeah.
knows what she's talking about. It boils my blood a little bit when they get people there who aren't prepared or don't know and like post content afterwards like, OMG, I'm so embarrassed, I was so awkward and like didn't ask her questions, whatever, because that's a great opportunity for people who would like deliver better content. All I'm going to say about it. we would both love to be at the Wicked premiere.
Yeah.
Hopefully. We will see. I'm seeing a new production of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory on Tuesday. Where?
I feel like you need to do a video on why Wicked is 2 parts, because I know I have seen it a lot with people asking about it, and I think and I know you have a lot of feelings.
The popular answer is money, because they want to make more money and they think that they can, and that's definitely a huge component of it, because they wouldn't, pardon the pun, but green light it otherwise. But what Stephen Schwartz said artistically, the answer is, how do you have a film with defying gravity in the middle? Now, if we look at movie musical adaptations, they always have this problem. The Act 1 finale comes to such a bam, it's the end of Act 1 to send the audience off to go and buy drinks or ice creams or run for the bathroom, whatever. That doesn't work in a film. It's weird to have such a big number and then go immediately into something else. Some films just do it regardless. One Day More still happens, but One Day More, they moved on my own before it. Almost always you will see a movie musical have to deal with the Act 1 finale somehow. Chicago cut it.
Into the Woods felt weird. Into the Woods felt very weird.
Into the Woods is intrinsically weird because that's a part 1, part 2 musical. What's another one? In the Heights worked around it in a very different way. The Blackout ended very differently.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that Wicked has, because you can't cut Defying Gravity. A lot of them just cut their Act 1 finales. You cannot cut Defying Gravity. You cannot change the end of Defying Gravity. So they end up with this thing that's like big finale, and then they're like, what happens next? So the first film is going to end with Defying Gravity, and the second film is going to be the second act. I'm not concerned. I'm excited to see an expanded version. I don't need it to be the show on film, because that never works. We know from the producers, would you stop touching this?
You're behind.
I'm in control. I am working through them. Carrying on.
Do you know what's after Titanique at the Criterion? I think, as long as it hits well, Titanique's going to be there for a very long time.
Why are we wishing away Titanic? It hasn't even opened yet.
Yeah, I would in all honesty, I would say if that show hits in the West End, it will be here for a long time because it serves a purpose that I think the West End's been missing for a while, and you can see that because Titanique kind of lends to kind of a similar audience that Rocky Horror does. We were talking about this, and actually, I feel like Titanique starts to go into that land of like being a musical that people can have a slightly different experience with because of the improv, because of it does let the audience feel connected with the cast.
I hope beyond hope it finds an audience in London, and it runs for a long time.
Because I will be back multiple times.
Aaron's going to sell it out by himself.
I've seen it twice off Broadway.
Yeah.
I went on my own to see it the second time.
Good evening, Mickey and Aaron. Good evening to you.
Hello.
I cannot wait for the soundtrack for Why Am I So Single? Neither can we, because the songs...
The music.
Oh,
Chef's kiss.
so good. The songs are
I
some of
need
the
to scribble.
best...
I need to scribble.
Some of the best contemporary musical theatre writing of the last decade. Not this weekend, but booked to see Book of Mormon next month in London. Enjoy very much. Do you think The Notebook will have a West End transfer? Yes.
Yes,
And I would
it's
put
more a
money
question when.
on it eventually being not this year, maybe not next year, maybe late next year. I would put money on it being the Shaftesbury, and I will tell you why on Monday.
Leo, so yeah, it has been like the Criterion has been for a while a limited run type of theatre, but going back to like unbelievable.
They were hoping
that was hoping to be a long. That was hoping
show
to replicate Stomp and be a show that's there for a long time. But it's not a traditional like musical or play long runner that is a long running West End. I feel like we're in a West End that also wants to tick off like the Las Vegas type of audiences with theatre.
Yeah.
Hence why the rumours about Cirque du Soleil wanting a permanent venue.
Yeah.
In the West End.
Didn't see anything this week, but I loved seeing Hello Dolly a couple of weeks ago. Might also see Fat Ham at Cincinnati Shakespeare Company if I have time. Is Kate seeing that? That feels like something Kate would go and see. Kate Ranking, if you can. Here. Kate Ranking, can you hear me? Kate, if you're still here, are you seeing Fat Ham at Cincinnati Shakespeare Company? I assume you'd see Fat Ham wherever it goes in North America. Kate said yes. Yeah,
of course Kate is.
There you go.
Oh, Dylan, so glad that you enjoyed Hello Dolly.
It was extraordinary. Fantastic.
Dylan probably just saw Jodie Jacobs.
Yes. There you go. Jodie Jacobs, who plays Ernestina Money.
No, Kate's not.
Oh, Kate, yes.
Kate was
Kate,
still...
Are you here? Yes, I am.
Kate was here, but Kate's not.
Fine. We've solved the mystery.
They are here, but they are not seeing it.
Lisa, did you enjoy Rocky Horror? Did you have an experience? Had you seen it before? Did you know what you were letting yourself in for? Peter saw Frozen last Sunday for the matinee before it ended. Not huge on Disney normally, but the production and singing were amazing. It is a really astonishing production. And yes, also amazing.
I do just love a big Disney show, can't I? I've always been a Disney boy. Kind of Disney before theatre. Like, actually, like, growing up and everything, yeah.
Love the jumper, Aaron.
Yes, thank you. And yeah, Zach and Gloria leaving was a surprise when it was announced.
Wasn't it just?
Because it's not what we do in the UK, in the West End normally. Normally, people sign 1-year contracts. So Harry saw kind of our original Orpheus and Eurydice leave, and now we're seeing our Hades and Persephone in like this waves. I'm intrigued whether that's like we're gonna just get these like cabaret style changes, or are the new quartet gonna stay up to the point where it's the yearly cast change and then everybody changes?
Yeah,
but it's exciting. It'll be exciting to see who joins, and I love them both in it.
Thank you, Matthew Whittle, for the super thanks. Titanique tickets for 13th of December. Enjoy.
Very fun.
Enjoy. And we should be getting casting. I assume that's for the UK. We should be getting casting very soon.
Will the Little Big Things return? I mean, Michael Harrison hinted that isn't the last we've seen of the show. And he said that the At Soho Place will forever be its home. So that gives me hope that they want a future for it.
Yeah, I think I wouldn't be surprised if we see the Little Big Things return to at Soho Place. Seeing Angelia on Tuesday and Phantom on Wednesday. Enjoy, Tanya. Enjoy. Scott, I haven't met Ben Forster, but I'm sure he's very nice.
I did not know about this. What did you make of the new Heart Musicals radio station?
That is news to me as well. We don't have a car, so we don't listen to a lot of radio.
And I actually just didn't see anything about that. So that's
No, that is brand new news.
Is that UK based or is that US based? Because isn't that iHeart Radio in the US?
Oh, iHeartRadio, but yes.
But I don't know if that's that. Intrigued.
Maybe.
Let us know.
Sheila, glad you enjoyed Kiss Me Kate. Archie asks, what is your least favourite West End theatre and why? Archie asks, what is your least favourite West End theatre and why? I'm going to take this opportunity to publicly apologise to the Garrick because I was worried about going to see Why Am I So Single because of Sightlines and had a lovely time. And it was great.
I think the Garrick, like...
If you're right at the back, there are some dreadful seats at the back of the
I think I think the Garrick dress and the Garrick frontage doors. And actually, I think the circle above will have good views. The back of the stalls in the Garrick, no.
Yeah, and these would be the reasons for like least favourite West End theatres is like how cramped some of them are, how warm some of them are, the fact that you can hear the underground passing immediately underneath, which normally you can at the Garrick, but I did not notice it once at Why Am I So Single.
I'll be honest, well, I think maybe that's...
Because it's a musical, not a play.
Well, I was going to say because of the style of music underscore.
Also helps. Also because I have seen a lot of plays at the Garrick when I'm like, oh yeah, that's either an earthquake or the Northern Line.
Do you know, it might be the Fortune. The Fortune is the theatre that, like, because there wasn't much time between The Woman in Black and Operation Mincemeat, and it has such horrific sightlines and seatings. It's not comfy. That is not a comfortable theatre.
You have to go on a mission to get to those toilets.
It's just not. It's not kind to audience members, that theatre. I will say though, the ambassadors, what ATG did to that theatre, with their recent refurb, turned it from one of my least favourite theatres to one that I think is like a little jewel when you go to see it.
Oh yeah.
And another theatre that I kind of 180'd on a little bit is the Harold Pinter.
Yes.
That was another theatre that I did not like going to.
I haven't been to St. Martin's in a really long time. I remember feeling the seating was a bit uncomfortable in the St. Martin's, but that hasn't been renovated in a while.
But I remember going in there and being surprised how pretty the St. Martin's is, because it has like gorgeous. A wood. Like a wood theme. I don't know why I keep saying wood, but it's got that.
They're all pretty. There's none of them that I think are ugly on the inside. Some of them on the outside, but
if we class it as a West End theatre, I know which one we both would say.
What is ugly on the inside? Or is our least favourite?
Ugly's up for debate, but it's definitely but it would be my least favourite specifically for Voy, I suppose.
I'm not on your wavelength.
It's themed after a bird.
Oh. Yeah. No, that is ugly on the inside. Okay. But everyone forgets that that's a West End theatre.
Well, because it's a counteractive one.
Yeah. Back to Amanda from Sydney. The next shows in my calendar are Dear Evan Hansen, the non-replica Dear Evan Hansen. That's got to be opening later this month or the very start of next month. October. It's definitely running in October because I was going to come to Australia and now I'm hopefully going to do that next year. But non-replica Dear Evan Hansen in Australia. 6 and Hadestown, but they're a little way off, thinking of seeing Titanique in the meantime.
Do it. UK-based Heart Radio. So I did not realise that they were doing the musicals.
That is news. Are planning a 3-show Sunday. This is a question. Are you planning a 3-show Sunday on the West End with Titanique having a Sunday 5 p.m. show? I mean, we could. I love a 3-show day when it's possible. You can do a 3-show day right now.
Right now with I Wish You Well.
I Wish You Well. Our friend Paltrow ski trial musical.
Our friend did a 3-show day today. Went to Stranger Things, I Wish You Well, and then Hamilton. So you can even see 2 massive shows, and then
did Stranger Things do a Friday night?
Well, yeah, because he was
I
there
guess
today.
that's very Sonia Friedman to do a Friday, man. Because Mean Girls.
She's very in the know, I think, of like what people do now, and I think it has to be talked about because you have tourists.
I think a Friday matinee. The only argument against a Friday matinee is like a 5-show weekend for performers, the intensity of
Yeah.
that. But a Friday matinee makes a lot of sense for people taking a long weekend, or the number of people who now like work from home, flexible working patterns,
And Fridays are most
off,
likely day
or
that
they
they're going to
finish
be
at
off.
lunchtime
Yeah.
on Friday. They're in the city and they go see a matinee. I think you probably have more people who can come see a Friday afternoon than like a Wednesday. I'm always fascinated by how the West End can fill all of its theatres on a Wednesday afternoon in term time in a cold, rainy month in London. That always boggles my mind.
Grace said nothing compares to the Charing Cross Theatre when it comes to train noise.
That's a great point.
That's very true. But the worst one for that is the turbine.
Oh, yeah.
The turbine has, because it's right under that arch. I mean, which is similar to Charing Cross, but like turbine, it's kind of like a. Oh, yeah. I could probably count the amount of carriages in that theatre.
Oh my God, hey, and good morning from Australia. Apologies, Aaron, for the inundation of Australian news, and I apologise for this accent, it just comes over me. But with Kimberley Kimbo, Hadestown, Beetlejuice, Back to the Future, all 2025, please come. Desperate to, and never apologise for Australian theatre news. Thank you for helping keep us updated. What have you seen?
Ellen, hi Ellen.
Seeing that Mickey is so far behind in the YouTube chat.
Across.
That's because I'm trying to work through it, and you keep blocking out TikTok questions for 2-minute embargo on TikTok questions, so I can do these. Any tips for things to do in New York other than shows? There is an extraordinary amount of food, and if you like musical theatre, go to Gale's Broadway Rose at the Friedman Hotel at the bottom of the Edison. You can check out our vlogs where we did many things other than just seeing shows. We love a tall building. We love walking the High Line. We love going to Central Park. We liked the zoo there. Saw Fiddler the other day, blown away. If you don't count me freezing on my seat, always prepare for Regent's Park. Always prepare. Are you looking forward to Devil Wears Prada? I am. They're doing amazing press and marketing work in the lead up to that show, and I heard exciting things coming out of Plymouth where it had its pre-West End run. Will you ever do a video about Epic the Musical? I don't know much about Epic the Musical. I don't tend to talk about concept albums before they've made it to the stage.
And we've still not, both of us haven't properly listened to or watched like even court musicals at the minute, like Ride the Cyclone.
Yeah, that's why I don't really talk about those.
I feel like that's probably one that that's the one that I think we should though. Just because.
Don't apologize, Ellen. It was very funny.
Just because, like, I don't know. That's the one that I actually would be intrigued what you think about it, because I feel like that's a be more chill situation.
Yeah. Would you ever do a London meetup like you do in NYC? Very open to the idea of it. The only reason we don't is because NYC we have to, because we're there for a limited time. So like, while we're here, but London, we're here all the time. So it's like, when do you do one? Of course, you could get a meet and greet ticket to MickeyJoTheatre Live at the Phoenix Arts. But if you're not available on that date, or if that's too expensive,
I think we'd love to do meetups. I think it's just like, I think it's tricky to then know when and how
and where.
Like there's a case of not knowing how many people would turn up, or like, would you do a park? Like, I don't know. Maybe if we ask, would somebody come and attend one, and where?
Yeah.
Because I think that's where and when. Because I think that is a big thing.
Yeah. Australia trip 2025. I'm manifesting it. Mickey, Jo, and Aaron in Australia 2025. But we welcome feedback from Australians. When is the good month to come to see the most things? How many different places do we need to go to? We're willing to go to multiple places, but we'd rather not have to go to like 4 or 5. Let's be as streamlined as we can.
Do you know something that I did think about once? Was whether we did like a thing where it would be with different theatres and like visiting them and doing a meet there. So it would like introduce people to their theatres.
I've thought about this before, and like, but also like doing like a group night to go and see something, and we could like do like a talk about the show, like a post-show talk. But I've lots of cute ideas.
Yeah.
Someone also asked, is Be More Chill done forever? Haven't heard anything about it in ages. So the Broadway production finished its run. It came to the West End. The West End production finished its run, and you won't hear about it until another production happens somewhere. But I think with Be More Chill, we may now be approaching the time of non-replica productions.
I was just about to say, it feels like maybe
different people producing.
Whether the producers have now given up their hold on it.
Yeah. Seeing Cake the musical tomorrow? So intrigued. We have been listening to that cast recording and loving it. The songs are great. The music from Cake, it's really exciting. Zizi and Renee are fab. Very intrigued.
The cast recording is insane. I have played that cast recording so many times. The flip that I have had on how I felt about that musical from then to now.
Yeah. Hello, Dolly was wonderful. Jonathan, so glad you enjoyed. Hello, Dolly. We did see Leah Michelle's Funny Girl. I reviewed it right here on my channel if you want to know what I thought, but enjoyed her performance very, very much. Carrie, you're coming to London next month for Musical Con and going to see Les Mis and Why Am I So Single?
Ooh, that's amazing. A fun pairing.
That's a great weekend. My goodness. Could Beetlejuice move into the Shaftesbury Theatre? No. And I will explain why on Monday. Beetlejuice, I think if it comes here, and it is, last I heard, Beetlejuice was still trying to. They are just waiting. Mean Girls waited a long time. Broadway shows do not rush here. They wait for the theatre they want. Mean Girls was going to wait for the Savoy as long as it had to, and it was going to wait for Heathers to close as well, I think.
Yeah. The thing is with Broadway transfers is a lot of the time either they're landing here and they want a better run than they had on Broadway, but also they want to run, those kind of big musicals do not plan to come here for a short time. They plan to come here for years. They want multiple years, and that means that they need to know they've got the perfect theatre to be able to last years. Because sure, it could have come into the Dominion, for example, but how long would it have stayed on one of those limited runs when they were doing them recently?
Yeah. Let the court transcript show. I'm being very speedy here, and you're riffing on these questions, and that's really where the delay is coming from.
Sure.
Beetlejuice, I wouldn't be surprised if it went in. I wouldn't be surprised if it went to the Gillian Lynn. Been thinking about Katie Tunstall doing Clueless a lot. Which is your favourite musical to come from a pop musician, and should more pop artists give it a try? Waitress from Sarah Bareilles is probably, and Hadestown from Anais Mitchell.
Yeah.
Are probably the strongest scores to come from. I don't know if we count Tim Minchin as a pop musician, but if so, then Groundhog Day and Matilda are also right up there. Many of them are really great. I welcome songwriters who love and understand and appreciate musical theatre and who collaborate necessarily with the other artists involved. A lot of other scores that come from pop musicians also have their shortcomings. Kinky Boots works well for what it is. I don't think Kinky Boots needs to be any more sophisticated or intelligent than it is.
I'm fascinated that she's doing two musicals, that she's doing a new musical again.
Yeah.
I that's my big thing with pop musicians. I'm I'd like more to give it a try only if they're doing it because they're a songwriter that wants and loves musical theatre. So then really they are a musical theatre composer, like Sarah Bareilles. She's always loved musical theatre. That's just that. Because I feel like then it's also not feeling like it's taking the space from musical theatre writers, because it's not people just doing it because they've been given the option because they're a name, and it's more they're writing musical theatre because they've always wanted to write a musical.
But that thing about taking up space is also a factor, especially in London. We are beginning now in London, in the UK, to celebrate British musical theatre composers more, but it has taken a long time.
The fact that people in America have heard of Two Strangers and 42 Balloons and all these new musicals.
Do you think Two Strangers will be back at that exact moment? Alexandra asks.
I think America might get to see it next.
I think New York is the place for that to go to next. I agree. Amanda says, OMG Hey from Hamilton, Ontario.
Hello.
That's one of the few places in Canada we didn't go in July. I can't believe you met Richard O'Brien. Neither can I. I had to just suddenly be very composed and be like, right, this is happening. And it's all in fact, he was a lovely man. My goodness. Is London about ready for a Blood Brothers revival? It might be.
It's still touring.
But we're not going to get it because it's going to be that same touring production, and a new one is not allowed to open until that closes, and the people who hold the rights, which is now tied up in various different estates. It's tied up with Ken Wright and Willie Russell, and
I just don't see it happening. I feel like there would have to be a very big reason or
New York
agreement.
could probably do a Blood Brothers revival, like an off-Broadway.
But I don't think they have a place that wants is craving it.
Or regionally in the US. I'd be intrigued for someone do a Blood Brothers revival. I would like to see one. I know that someone was teasing something for Monday, so I wonder if it's the same thing. Depending on what that something is and who that someone is, perhaps. I saw you on the Sunday of West End Live, vlog camera in hand. Will we be seeing your footage from that day? I had a microphone problem, tragically, and so I had about 12 hours of footage that just had intermittent crackling throughout. And a lot of it, I really don't know what I'm doing with West End Live these days, because I liked being there and I wanted to make a vlog about it, but it's the footage that's been uploaded elsewhere. You can see it. You can see many of the performances on Erin's TikTok. You can also see them on YouTube. Other people have uploaded them. The audio is always a bit dodgy from the official London Theatre ones, I will say. But yeah, so I didn't end up putting anything together there.
That's fascinating, Grace. Yavin Concert hasn't actually announced for tickets.
Has it not? I thought I knew people who'd bought tickets.
Is this one of those ones where it's gone on sale, but they've just not made it?
It's sold out. I think it's sold out. I think it went on sale. I thought it did.
I don't know.
Grace, either you're correct or we have terrible news for you. I'm not sure which is which. So yes, I'm not. Yeah, I have nothing. I have lots to post from West End Live this year, but it wasn't. Sadly, it had audio problems. You're right.
Yeah, we never saw. Is it Prima Facie or Prima Facie?
Prima Facie.
We didn't get to see it, so we do need to see it at some point.
Yes, we'll watch the recording at some point. Evening show. How to Dance in Ohio announced it was coming to the West End in 2025 some time ago. Was that aspirational, or would they have a definite theatre booked? Not sure how these things work.
They announced London, but not West End, and I feel like it.
Did they announce London, or did they say UK? I don't even know if they said London. I think they said UK.
Maybe.
Which leaves them open to. It could be West End. It could be. I
would say it'll probably get like a tryout somewhere first.
Yeah, and I don't believe they had a theatre booked at that time. I think it was more just that they were partnering with British producers and they were beginning to do the work to push it in that direction. How to Dance in Ohio as a musical has always been a little bit aspirational. You got to love them for it, but as we saw, it was a challenged.
Oh, somebody's just asked when do we see Dear Evan Hansen?
This week. This coming week. We're not seeing a lot this week, but we are seeing Dear Evan Hansen in Nottingham. The brand new UK tour, I'm going to call it the first major non-replica production of Dear Evan Hansen. Different set, different costumes, different direction, different creative choices from that original Olivier Award-winning, Tony Award-winning version. I'm so excited, and I will be making lots of videos about it. And so will Erin.
Yeah. Do
you think some of the Wicked musical songs will be extended? For some reason, I feel like we'll hear a lot more of the riff, like we do in Frozen throughout with Elsa singing. Perhaps. We know Stephen Schwartz has written some new music. I think we're probably likely to hear more in the second film than the first, because I think that needs more padding. So I don't know. Starkid alumni do have the Inn with Jacket. Oh, that's how far behind I am. That's when we were talking about Mincemeat. Henry Fraser's art exhibition is at the Grove Hotel in Watford this weekend. There you go. If anyone wants to go to an art exhibition this weekend, I don't know if you still can. The Grove Hotel in Watford. Henry Fraser. Will Spider-Man ever come to the West End? I am inclined to doubt it, but I would love to see a stripped-back, intimate off-West End production, which is the antithesis of what that show was on Broadway. I think it sounds hilarious.
Sounds exciting. You got tickets to Hills of California. We loved it.
Loved Hills of California.
I'm very excited to see it.
Yes, the Pink Pony Club hat. Erin got this for me for my birthday.
I did, and it was from the official website.
This is official Chapel Roan merchandise.
Yeah, from the website.
Max, glad you're excited for Devil Wears Prada. So are we. Amanda is seeing Titanique in January in Toronto. Enjoy.
I love that there's so many productions coming.
And I'm sure it's going to be very popular in Toronto because Celine, Canada, beloved. And I think, I hope it does really well there. Good morning from Australia. Ellen, I've reached your comment on YouTube.
Yay!
There we go. It was 8 a.m. in Australia when Ellen made that comment.
It's true, actually, that Australia is getting Beetlejuice before the UK.
It is. It is.
How often does that happen?
Cruise ships have had Beetlejuice before the UK.
Then I was about to say, how often does that happen? And literally, Titanique is opening in Australia before UK.
How long before? Is it open already?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
They've just done like 2 or 3 performances.
I do not think Shucked will actually come to London for at least 2 years. Interesting. Well, Shucked originally said 2024, and then when they closed on Broadway, I've said this before, but when they closed on Broadway, they quietly pushed back their West End opening to winter 2025, which to me, winter means November, December, rather than, if it was January, you wouldn't say winter 2025 to mean January. So it's looking at the end of next year, and things have announced like in much shorter notice, especially like limited run plays. They're like, this is being announced and it's opening in a month.
Yeah.
Like, I wish
things
well
happen last minute.
Came in September, having announced like mid-August.
There are theatres that are free at the end of this year that we do not know what's coming in them.
So I don't worry too much about Shucked just yet. Coming down in November, and I'm torn between Why Am I So Single or Devil Wears Prada. If I may, I would encourage and sort of beseech you to go see Why Am I So Single first, because Devil Wears Prada, it won't be officially open by that point.
Yeah, they don't have press nights until December.
It opens for the press in December. And I think go see the one that opened first, because hopefully both of them will run for a long time. But in the absence of security, it is still a difficult time for new musicals opening. Why Am I So Single has the harder battle because it doesn't have Vanessa Williams in. It is not based on a film. Why Am I So Single needs more audience support right now. And there's a lot about it that is so great. And I really, especially for musical theatre fans, there are so many stagey references in Why Am I So Single. So please do go and see Why Am I So Single sooner rather than later. If you're planning to see it, don't like put that in the back of your mind of like, oh yeah, I'll get around to it at some point. It may not have that. I'm not saying that because I've heard anything or because I know anything. I just go see Why Am I So Single now.
So Sam, nothing's been announced. I don't think anything's been announced about Just for One Day. But it's definitely going to Toronto at the start of the year.
Yes. Unless we've missed something, in which case, fill us in.
But as far as I know, nothing's technically been announced for anything.
Yeah.
But, Why Am I So Single? Just joined the TikTok chat.
Why am I so single? Hello to you.
Hello.
Mickey, do you have any idea what happened to Carrie the musical? Because it seems to have disappeared. Lots of things happened to Carrie the musical. It was produced originally in the West End and then on Broadway, and then they closed, and then it's been produced a handful of other times in limited runs since. Are you saying this because like no one's done it in a while? Which I agree. I guess it had an off-West End revival at Southwark Playhouse years ago. It had an off-Broadway revival with the late, great Marin Maisie. But yeah, we haven't had a Carrie in a while. That's a good point.
I feel like there's a world opening for it with off-Broadway now, getting more like spooky.
Yeah.
And in a spooky things are running, like Teeth, like Little Shop of Horrors.
Shout out, yes, Max.
Hi,
I
Max.
think I've already said your name, Max. But yes, shout out to you, Max. The Old Globe in San Francisco is getting a new musical from the team behind Legally Blonde, a new musical about a Renaissance fair. I remember this.
Oh yes,
we talked about this at MusicalCon.
Yes, I remember it being mentioned.
What do you think of the news that Mrs. Doubtfire is closing on the West End? I will talk about it more fully on Monday, but it's going to tour and it's going to do very well. Is Jersey Boys ever coming back to the West End? Probably.
And then we would love the spreadsheet of Australian theatre in 2025.
Oh,
because also our American friends we've been talking to it with. So and we all seem to love a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Like if I don't know if anybody's looked online, but like me, Ashley, Kay, everybody has spreadsheets with theatre dates.
Yeah. Are you planning to see Ragtime Annual Gala at the New York City Centre? What do you think of the casting? I think it's sensational.
It's incredible.
Think it's amazing casting.
Casey singing is going to be insane.
Oh my God. I personally said to Casey Levy, can't wait to see you in Ragtime. So now I guess I have to. That constitutes a verbal contract. Try and stop me seeing Ragtime at New York City Centre. Just try. Please don't try. Do you think Heathers will be open by next July? Or by July next year in New York? Because I'm going to see Sunset with my family. Is that Sean?
I think Sean's just got here.
Either it's Sean or it's a home invasion.
Kate, love the spreadsheet. We all do, it seems. Kate, I've been wondering this at a point because I don't know if I've sent. See, this is my thing. I have a numbers spreadsheet with everything West End of opening and everything. But then I was like, how do I don't want to put it on a Google sheet to then share it with like friends because of editing it and re-editing it.
Yeah.
But we should share it, Kate, over like our different spreadsheets. That's a separate thing.
I think Heather's. If I was producing. Oh, Sean can't get into the flat. Do you want to go let Sean in? I'll answer some questions. We've trapped Sean outside. There you go. Sean is staying with us this evening, and we've locked him out accidentally. If I was producing Heather's, I would try and get it open by the summer for the kids. When it originally came to the UK, its first run at the Other Palace was July, August, when it originally came over. So that is what I would do, but I don't know.
He's in!
Yay! Sean is here.
That was hilarious. I could hear him. But that's probably going to just hear him.
I scrolled away. I made mistakes.
Ellen loves that we brought up the spreadsheets. Honestly, so needed.
Oh, Amanda loved Sunset. Beautiful staging and bucket list item ticked off. Seeing Sarah Brightman. Tim Draxel was exceptional. Why is Wicked 2 Parts is already a video, Aaron. There we go. I have talked about it.
Brian, no.
Lol. Brian, stop trolling us. I see Scott saw Charlie and the Chocolate Factory musical last year in Dublin and loved it. Glad you enjoyed. They did used to have intermissions in movie musicals. Oliver, I believe.
Sound of Music?
Do you know? I don't know. But
I know some of those older ones did have the intermissions in.
Yeah. It's about time an adaptation of the Rocket Man film hit the West End. Interesting. I know our friend Perry would very much appreciate that. Big fan of Elton John. Nancy didn't see anything this week, but I loved seeing Hannah Dolly a couple of weeks ago. Imelda Staunton was incredible, isn't she just? Do you think we'll see Two Strangers again anytime soon? As we mentioned before, probably going to go to New York off-Broadway next, or at least I think it should, and I hope it does. My sister and I have been watching all your London and Broadway vlogs because she hadn't seen them before. Thank you so much. Hope you enjoyed. We should watch them back at some point, if and when we have a free evening. It would be nice to rewatch our trips.
Yeah.
I've heard the parade might be coming to London.
I'd love for it too. At one point we heard it was, and then we haven't heard anything since.
Allegedly, it was going to try to very last minute at one point, and then that fell through, but that would be great if it does. Do you think Cats the Jellicle Ball will have the following of Rocky Horror Picture Show? We were talking about this, like what it would take to make another Rocky Horror kind of a following, and I just don't know if society at the moment is built to make that happen. But I think the fact that Cats is getting as popular as it is this production is very exciting. I'm going to London in October with my mum and Nan. I'm dying to watch Why Am I So Single? Would you recommend it for people of that old generation? Yes. Had dinner with a friend and her mother the other day. They both really enjoyed it. It speaks to multiple generations. Do not worry. Do you know why pro shots are rarely released, especially the ones in New York Library archives? Everyone needs to get paid.
Yeah, it's contracts, mainly.
Those ones that are filmed for archive purposes are not filmed for release. They are just filmed as archive recordings, so they're not the same kind of pro shots that you see on like streaming platforms. I like the multi-camera close-up lovely ones. Those are specifically made to be pro shots, and they're hard to put together and expensive to put together. Will you be seeing Fiddler on the Roof? We will be trying to. It's sold out technically. Yeah. Have you heard about the Wicked Part 2 release date? Are you going to make a video about it? It's not enough. You don't need me to make a video about Wicked Part 2 moving its date slightly. The date has moved slightly. That's all. Love the hat. Thank you. I am in the pit. I can't remember what it says on the back.
It just says Chapel Row.
Chapel Row. It's your favorite YouTuber's favorite pop girly. A concert version of Randy Newman's Faust with Reeve Carney and Javier Munoz at my university. Worth going. I'm intrigued.
Wow, Reeve Carney and... Okay, wow.
Yes, we've both said yes. Hello, my favorite people. Hello to you,
yeah,
Eva.
pop musicals in the UK. Fascinating.
Donny Osmond is back doing Joseph and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat in December in Edinburgh. Yes. The Theatre Royal Haymarket, specifically the Circle. The Circle I don't mind. The balcony right up at the top. The gallery, I think maybe they call it. Horrible. It's flat benches and there's no under chair seating.
The very top of the Adelphi is not fun either. I don't know if that's changed, but it used to be not very fun.
I haven't been up the top of the Adelphi in years since my first visit there to see.
That was like a place that I believe people would have nosebleeds from.
First show you ever saw at the Adelphi?
Joseph.
Love Never Dies. Do we know anything about Natasha Pierre casting, or what do you predict?
I predict it being like very like Olivier Award winners or nominees, that type.
I wouldn't be surprised if we saw some Les Mis alumni. People of
I
that
see
ilk.
that, yeah.
Yeah.
Or Cabaret.
Les Mis fan to me. My partner and I work for Disney in Orlando. Frozen is closing when we are there, but we'll be there in late October. I've seen Matilda, Cabaret, and Back to the Future. Any new shows you recommend?
That's so fun that you both work for Disney.
Yes, that is delightful. Still need to come to Disney World in Orlando, but that's probably going to be, that's the dream honeymoon, if we go to Disney World in Orlando. He's been, I've never been.
Yeah.
And we watch a lot of vlogs based there, and I would really love to.
Ooh.
New
Matilda,
shows.
Cabaret, and Back to the Future. I'm trying to think from that type of trio.
In October.
Maybe has Benjamin Button started then?
I think Benjamin Button will be starting. Yeah, because Kathy and Stella's closing next weekend or this weekend.
Because Matilda and Cabaret, that's kind of art. That's quite artistic.
Yeah.
So maybe the Curious Case of Benjamin Button.
Curious Case of Benjamin Button at the Ambassadors is one to be aware of. So much is changing at the moment because so many things are closing, and it's a lot of plays this autumn, which is no bad thing. We love a play, but I'm just trying to think. If you're asking about musicals, and if you're Disney people, what are the ones to steer you towards? I mean, I think Phantom and Les Mis need to be seen in London if you haven't before at some point. I think there was another one that was in the ilk of Back to the Future. I think Stranger Things is probably worth seeing on stage as well. Greetings from Spain, not Spanish, but on holiday in Spain. Hope you're having a lovely time. Is it warm where you are? Because it's this week become very cold in the UK. It has suddenly got cold. I don't know what it's about. What's the one musical you couldn't fathom never seeing? I couldn't fathom never seeing again. Are you deliberately asking a double negative? Do you mean I couldn't fathom ever seeing again, or I couldn't fathom never seeing? Like I would need to see it again. I need to see most musicals again. If you mean a musical I don't want to ever see again, I don't need to ever see again, it might be Jersey Boys. I don't think it's the worst musical ever. I do not like Jersey Boys. I don't think it's the worst ever, but I don't know what a return visit. I don't know what I would get from that. I don't know why I would need to see it. Sorry to those boys. And they often hire very talented performers, and that is the reason to go back, is the answer. But I get so little from that show.
Oh, somebody asked what we thought of Time Traveler's Wife.
Just let me be the time traveler's wife.
I think it had some musical numbers that were really, really like memorable and really good.
Had some great songs.
I think it just, I don't know. For me, it just kind of, it just didn't feel like it was fully aware of that it was a musical.
It was a little underbaked.
The emotion was, I didn't get emotional, and I felt like I was meant to get emotional.
Sure. The cast were exceptional.
Yeah, the cast were incredible. Like
David and Joanna were fantastic. It had a lot going for it. It had also, I think, some problems that it inherited from the book. There's a lot of timeline confusion. I think that was some of the biggest undoing.
The magic became more important than, like, more of the focus. Oh, and also just how they staged his
Journeyman.
big song. Yeah. Because loved Journeyman, but didn't love Where It Was.
Yeah. I have a 20-30 minute review video about it you can watch on my YouTube channel. Oh, you're talking about the fact that it was like at the start of the second act, it's the child being like, what does it feel like when you time travel? Which always reminds me of the Billy Elliot.
It's just such a good song, but it was there was no emotion to it. It was just kind of there.
It's a very angsty, edgy rock song.
You needed
and it comes out of a child
moment.
sitting in a meadow saying, like, what does it feel like when you time travel? And he's like, well, small child, let me tell you, rip me apart. And so, yeah, that was surprising because we knew the song before we saw the show, and then we were like, oh, that's where they do the song. That's a choice. Also going to be in Edinburgh after Halloween. Doesn't seem to be much going on there other than Mormon. When we are there, there are a few other theatres in Edinburgh, so check out what's going on at the Traverse. Check out what's going on. There are a few big theatres. I guess you probably already have. Favourite play, The Inheritance.
Yeah, The Inheritance was incredible.
Or Who's Afraid of Virginia Woolf. How is Cake at the Other Palace? It's only had one preview, and that was this evening, and we were not there. So I don't know. We are hoping to see it during this run. Donald, did you enjoy Fiddler? Any idea why Facing the Crowd keeps on cancelling their preview shows? Cancelled previews happen, especially for new musicals.
There also could be things like illness and stuff, because in previews, if it's very rare for understudies to be ready to go on.
My next shows are the Lehman Trilogy. That's a great play. Guys and Dolls and The Real Thing. Great shows.
Brian, yes, you should wear an inflatable tree costume to Redwood.
Obviously.
Because you're famous for the corn, so...
Yeah, obviously. What are today's show merch fits? I'm wearing Chapel Roan merch and running gear. Hadestown going on.
West End.
It's an old song. It's an old song. It's an old song from way back when. Seeing the Headphones Macbeth with David Tennant should be interesting. Yeah, didn't catch it at the Donmar. We'll try and catch it at the Hazard Winter. What are the possibilities of doing 3 shows a day? I go to London every 3 to 4 months. Well, right now, as we said before, you can do 3 shows with I Wish You Well on a Friday afternoon. You're always looking for that middle one. So on Fridays, you can do that with the 5:30 show of I Wish You Well, the Gwyneth Paltrow ski trial musical, and you can do most matinees and evenings around that. You can do a short matinee before the 4:30 Death of England Delroy show at Soho Place. You could do Shifters, maybe, in the afternoon, or just another one-act show. Go do Death of England Delroy, and then anything in the evening. Those are the current options.
I don't know how the timings work with 6. I would have a look into that with their 2
6
shows.
used to make it possible on a Thursday, but I can't remember if that Thursday performance is now just for schools groups or something. There was something changed around that.
Or if it's back.
Are you planning on seeing Muriel's Wedding? Yes.
Yes.
This is from Amanda in Sydney, who obviously saw it in Sydney. When you get to Sydney, you can meet anything.
Edward, we currently don't know if we're going to be at MusicalCon, but I know you would love to at some point host an event at MusicalCon.
I would be delighted to host an event at MusicalCon. I should probably be proactive and email them and be like, hello, MusicalCon, I would love to come and host.
Thank you, Jake.
Thank you for the apples.
They're brat apples.
How do we like them apples? Is there a musical theatre reference to apple? Is it Dear Evan Hansen? Does he sing about apples? Yes.
Oh, Fiddly, yes, it was this at the Byron Cellar event.
Yes, hello. We did very badly at saying hello to people at press events because we assume no one wants to talk to us. But hello now virtually. You asked great questions. It was nice to listen to the interview. Yes, we're planning to see Muriel's Wedding. The Met Museum is a great place to go, and we've never been. We're bad at doing museums.
And I want to see the Winnie the Pooh for real one.
That's at the public library. Yeah. Which people have told us to go to many times. I'm always like, yes, and then we just forget.
There's a lot of the touristy stuff that we're still kind of ticking off in each one. But that's kind of nice though, because when we do the vlogs, it means you get to see different things again.
Will you go to Paris to see Caroline O'Connor as Dolly Levi? Now we've booked nothing, but knowing us and having seen the number of times we have been to go see the shows at the Lido de Paris, you can probably guess. Saw Fiddler on the Roof early this week. Blew my mind, but freezing in my seat. Have you guys seen it yet? If not, maybe catch it before it closes this month. Gonna try to.
But it's technically sold out.
Wrap up warm. I wish that we'd been able to get returns when it was hot in August. That would have been great. Do you prefer cast photo posters or graphic art posters? Which do you think grab more attention? Both can if done right. It depends on the context. Often there is. I don't know. For an Imelda Staunton Hello Dolly, you're obviously going to want Imelda Staunton on your artwork. There are other shows where that matters less. Which is your favorite musical? Sorry.
I was going to say, on that one, I prefer when it's with like with posters or logos and stuff. I prefer it when it's something that can stay the course of time, and be familiar. Like Hadestown is a show that I think has done really well. With this flower is an icon that you see it and instantly go, that's Hadestown, and it sets the vibe of the show. Everybody wants it on merch.
It's case by case because I think I prefer. I'm just looking at an Anne Juliet thing here. That's why it's popped into my head. I think I prefer the Anne Juliet ones that have people on rather than the heart with the headphones. It's case by case. Next to normal, I preferred the Casey Levy ones than the other thing that they did. But I like when they update. I like when long running shows change. It's like, oh, they've got a different design. The new Moulin Rouge design on Broadway, gorgeous,
incredible. Yeah,
gorgeous. But when they get stars in the show, they then want to build around those stars. What is your favorite musical graphic? E.g., the Cat's Eye Dancers, the Miss Saigon face that's also a helicopter, or the Charlie and the Chocolate Factory one that's also, I love a hidden face in a graphic. Do you know why the seats in the first 3 rows of the stalls for Devil Wears Prada has not been on sale yet? I know they want to have a runway.
Yeah, I think they're probably trying to figure out what they're doing with the stage, because they had a runway in a kind of a version of a runway in Plymouth, but they might be trying to figure out how far it goes, but also what the view will be like.
Do I have any favorite video reviews I've done? Maybe Sunset Boulevard. That was a good one. I am proud of the work on Romeo and Juliet. I'm proud of the work. And also the Why Am I So Single one that I just posted. It sounds, and a few people have commented, this sounds more like a 3-star review than a 4-star review, and it's not. It's that there are really strong elements, really great things about it, but I really like getting into the detail of talking about the pieces that don't always mesh, or like certain things. And so I like getting down to the minutiae and the detail, and I felt like I was able to do that there.
Sorry, I got sent a meerkat.
You got sent a meerkat?
I got sent a meerkat from Jake.
Wow, why YouTube doesn't have meerkats?
I know. YouTube needs to add emojis, because it is very fun to see these really cool, like, different things that can appear.
Everyone wants Fiddler Thoughts.
I'm somebody that gets very excited by this.
Will you be seeing the Palladium Panto this year? We will try to, because that is a cast.
Yeah, Marisha Wallace in the Panto is going to be fun.
As the villain.
Yeah, as the villain.
She's going to be great.
Diva.
Is The Lion King a good show? The Lion King is a classic. Very creative, beautiful puppetry, incredible music.
I think it's a great show, especially for like the first strips.
Is this going to be a regular live on a Friday night? We're trying to do weekly lives here on my YouTube channel. That's MickeyJoTheatre on YouTube. And on Erin's TikTok. That's at Erin James UK on TikTok.
Yeah.
After we're done here, by the way, feel free to go and follow us on all the other social media platforms. If you use them regularly, if you don't use them often, if you have those apps, it's a great help to us.
We post different things across them, but also it's great to like, then you'll know when we're doing things, because we'll put some things on one and it might not come across on the other.
Yeah. Sometimes if I do a survey thing, I might ask question boxes on Instagram things. But yeah, you can find me as at MickeyJoTheatre on TikTok, on Instagram, on Threads, on X. And you can find Erin at Erin James UK on Instagram, TikTok, Threads, and X, and at Erin James on YouTube. Right? Yeah. There you go.
Liam Mickey's put a video review on his YouTube channel for what he thought of Why Am I So Single.
Why am I so single? What's Brian? Brian's replying to people, and that always makes me nervous. Brian, who are you talking to? Which theatre? There was a lot of... Oh, God.
He put something about...
Yes, it has a theatre. Do you think Pictures of Dorian Gray will go to...
Dorian Gray.
Fine, you can speculate about that.
Dorian Gray's definitely going to be going to... Yeah. We did... Yes. We did see Alex do Alex's concert. Diva Tag. Diva Tag needs to be a thing everywhere. So Alex Knoll and Marisha Wallace did Diva Tag, which is they both sang... And I'm telling you from Dreamgirls, and they just tapped each other, and the other one had to instantly jump in and carry on with the song, which was epic. And I would love to see multiple people that have done the same role. Like, imagine getting 2 Elphabas and then having to Diva Tag like the Wizard and I,
or just a bunch of just like a very well-known standard song.
Yeah, and to see them kind of have to know it so well that they can do it, but literally be like, "Now take over." It'd also be great if they're like, just probably for them relaxing in a sense. It's like anxiety inducing, but probably also calming, because it's like, I don't want to sing that bit. You can.
And much to Mickey JoTheatre. Oh, you're talking about Back to the Future. I see. Can we expect a Diva tag at the live show? Maybe in a future one. Not necessarily for this month, because other exciting plans involving those two performers together. And the live shows are only 2 hours long, so I overran on the last one. I need to keep it in check.
And if you can't get to the show, you can get the live stream tickets.
You can watch
so
the
anybody
live
that's
stream
not in the UK or not able to get to London and you are in the UK, you can do a live stream.
Yeah. And I'm hoping to announce dates in the new year next year. But to do that, these ones we need to sell these tickets. So please do. If you're planning to come in September,
please book tickets.
Yeah. If there's a revival of night music in the West End, who do you see as Desiree and her mother? I would love to see. There's a lot of great Hollywood actresses. I would love to have a crack at Desiree Armfeld, because I don't think it needs to be a musical theatre singer. I mean, Hannah Waddingham could still do it, because she was on the younger side of the actresses who've done it. But like that revival with Hannah Waddingham, then went to Broadway. Catherine Zeta-Jones did it, and Bernadette Peters did it. That's a hell of an age range. Hannah Waddingham could still do it if they just brought that production back. I would not be mad at that. Also, a Rachel Weisz night music, a Ruth Wilson night music. That's kind of what I've been thinking.
I found this one. We should mention this. So the new Evan Hansen production in the UK is going to be live on Saturday, which is still tomorrow, I think.
Tomorrow, 1 p.m. on TikTok.
Yeah, they're doing 3 songs. They're going to perform 3 songs, and I'm really excited that TikTok are doing so much musical theatre plugs, because they were also sent had a presence at Why Most a Single yesterday.
Yeah. They are doing Good For You. They are doing You Will Be Found, and I think they're doing Waving Through a Window.
Oh, that means we get our first look at Alice Fern singing Good For You.
Good For You.
Oh, that's going to be fun. I'm just going to leave for like a couple of minutes.
Go check on the shortly. See if it's okay.
It's more of a bathroom break, but I will be here shortly.
I'm going to catch up on all these questions. You just watch. Amanda says, Sydney and Melbourne have the most shows. Hard to know when to come, as it's all really spread out. Hayes Theatre in Sydney is a must. Noted. Rhiannon just got back from New York and took so many recommendations from your blogs. I saw your comment. I saw the tweet as well that you posted about it. Had the absolute best time. Saw Wicked, Great Gatsby, Little Shop of Horrors, The Notebook, Suffs, and The Outsiders. That's all the right shows to see. I'm so glad that you had a good time and that the vlogs were helpful. That's what we wanted to do with them. So that's really heartening. Thank you so much. A Mary Poppins trip to Bristol. I so hope so. Yes. It's not a case of will we see Mary Poppins on tour in the UK. It's how many different places will we go to see Mary Poppins on tour. We both love that production so much. Lion King's my favorite of the Disney musicals, says Callie. There you go. It's certainly the most creative in how it was brought to the stage. It's a level of creativity I would like to see from Disney more, it must be said. They were kind of, the production of Bedknobs and Broomsticks in the UK and the production of Pinocchio at the National Theatre were more like that. Beetlejuice and the Gillian Lynn has been my thought for ages. I just want to see those stripes on the side of that building. It would look so cool. And it's, I think it's a big enough stage for it. Suffs was the standout for you. Woman after my own heart. There you go. Also went to Schmackery's and Gale's Broadway Rose, which I loved. Thank you for vlogging your trips and helping make mine amazing. I'm so pleased, honestly. Amazing. Not a musical, but will you be seeing the Palladium Patter this year? We will try to. Is Lady Gaga really releasing a Broadway musical? That's not the Lady Gaga theatre rumor I heard, and that's all I'm going to say. This year, Composers for the Stage Debut Awards is going to be a close call, isn't it? And stay tuned for more from the Stage Debut Awards as well. Is it possible that the reason the 6 Pro Shot hasn't come out yet is because the show is doing so well? What are your thoughts? I don't know. I don't know what the mindset is, and I don't really know that they know what the mindset is either. A panto is a pantomime. British pantomime is always hard to explain to people outside of the UK. It's like a traditional fairy tale story, and it's played in a very camp, family-friendly, fun, very broad way. It has a lot of traditional elements. It sometimes features contemporary music. It features a lot of audience call and response. It's just a very fun, family-friendly, seasonal theatre experience. I've just seen Operation Mincemeat tonight. Absolutely loved it. I was so pleased. Do we have any news about the My Sons Are Queer transfer to Broadway? They are working on it, but Rob Madge has a lot of other projects happening here in the UK as well, but they are working on it. Saw Next to Normal last night, Prime Face tonight, and then a chorus line tomorrow. Hope you had a stagey day. That's a fantastic week. Petition for Mickey Jo to be the backstage correspondent for next year's Backstage Live. What is that? Is that at Musical Con? Is that a Musical Con thing, Backstage Live? Thoughts on Death Becomes Her becoming a musical? I wasn't sure. I haven't seen the film. I'm going to upset so many people because I've already said I haven't seen Clueless. I haven't seen Clueless. I haven't seen Beetlejuice. I haven't seen Death Becomes Her. I was born in 1995. All those films predate me. I'm so sorry. But that one clip that they put out of Megan and Jen Samar doing that number, like, I must be boring, you senseless, when she's in the leopard print on the leopard print sofa, I'm immediately obsessed. I must go see it. I think it's going to be incredibly camp, which is easy to enjoy. Susan just watched Hello Dolly for the second time. Thank you so much for the video you did on ticket lotteries and Rush tickets. I got a wonderful Stalls ticket through a ticket lottery. There you go. What's your favorite theatre merch that you own? Probably the Ragtime Music Box Bear that I got from the flea market. I've really been enjoying my Sufts baseball cap recently, though.
Found out something interesting from Sean. Rebecca Kane loved The Baker's Wife tonight.
Rebecca Kane loved The Baker's Wife. There you go. Should I see Hills of California and NYC? We really loved it. I went back and saw it a second time, which I don't often do with plays in London. So I would recommend, yes. Hi guys, I'm in Philadelphia, PA. Philadelphia, PA. Would you guys come here to see any shows? We've tried to before. We didn't end up making it work, but definitely open to it, yes. Do you think the Dear England recording will end up on the NT at home after the second run, like People, Places and Things is? Yes. Yes, I think there's every possibility any of the National Theatre live recordings will go onto NT at home at some point. But I don't know all the details behind what goes on there and when. Any plans to move to NYC for an extended amount of time to cover the theatre scene there? Do you know what? It's easier to live here and travel there because
I think so.
There's more theatre here. There's more stuff that opens all year round. The openings in New York are more grouped together because of the Tonys, because of the nature of the season there.
Although I do love how they do opening nights, but then again, if they are grouped together, so normally, like when we were over for when the last lot opened, it's tricky because it's deciding the best time for us to be able to watch everything.
Yeah, I haven't
when everything happens.
I haven't ruled it out. People keep telling me I'm in my Saturn return. People keep telling me.
You started to mention this, and I was like, I don't feel like we're moving
multiple
country.
People gave me messages saying like they're convinced I'm going to move to New York because I'm in my Saturn return. Maybe I've not ruled it out, but New York politically is also a lot scarier than being in the UK. And the UK politically is still a depressing and devastating place to live. But we don't have to worry as much about firearms. So that's really what it comes down to.
I don't know what words you can't say for TikTok.
I'm speaking the truth, everybody. Christopher, go see Titanique in New York. It's so much fun.
Here's a lot of them.
What do you think will come to the Trafalgar after Doubtfire? Beetlejuice. Do you mean the Shaftesbury?
That's the Shaftesbury.
Not Beetlejuice. I'll tell you on Monday, if it hasn't already been announced. Titanique just opened. Shucked is coming to Australia 2026.
I can see Shuck do one in Australia.
What do you think of the Mary Poppins cast for the UK tour? I think it's genius to cast people who've already done the roles. They cast the leads from the Australian production. I think I'm very excited to go see them.
Confetti, thank you so much.
How fun. I'm a photographer doing a project on Broadway, the street. When was the first time you found out about Broadway? Oh, that's a good question. Probably, I think probably watching The Muppet Show.
Oh, wow.
Old DVDs of The Muppet Show. I think this was it for me because I watched musicals on VHS. I watched Joseph and I watched Cats. I knew musicals existed. And I think the first time I really understood what Broadway was via watching The Muppet Show. It might even have been someone singing Broadway Baby because they did a lot of like, sometimes I think like they did Comedy Tonight. They did a lot of like old school musical theatre numbers. I
think for me it was Annie.
Oh, yeah.
With like Starter B.
Yeah. I'm so sad Bad Knobs and Broomsticks didn't go to the West End. I hope we see it return. Me too.
I'd love it to see it return. I'd love to see. I wish that Disney were like. I like that Disney weren't as involved and heavy on it to create it. But at the same time, I wish Disney were more involved with it because I felt like we might have like you could feel the fact that they were very light touch.
Yeah. Are you guys going to see Hadestown again to see the new cast after Gloria and Zachary leave? This one already wants to go back to see Hadestown.
I want to see the two new leads,
Maddie and new Orpheus.
Yeah. And we need to fill our stamp card.
We do. They do. I don't know. I assume they still do them.
They must do because they're stamping them still. They
do loyalty cards at Hadestown. So if you see it multiple times in the West End, get a loyalty card, get it stamped. I saw Charlie and the Chocolate Factory tour last year. I liked it, but thought it very misleading. They used the same logo as the West End production. Ooh, interesting.
Come see a show at Petlockery someday. And then somebody else put, did you see about Alan Cummings being appointed as artistic director?
Yes. How exciting.
I'm so intrigued by Petlockery because I feel like when I saw the recent season announcement, it made me think more about how I don't know my thoughts of what Petlockery was and how they've changed since. And I think my brain never connected like to view it more like Chichester.
Yeah.
And less kind of like, I don't know what I viewed it as. Not like the open air, but maybe like something more similar to that with my brain.
No, I agree. Yeah.
I feel like what Petlockery is isn't very well understood in England. And I think that might be just, I don't know why, but
yeah. Regent's Park, we won't know until the new year.
Yeah.
The next season. We saw a National Theatre of Scotland show at the Edinburgh Fringe because we saw June Carter Cash.
Yeah, and I feel like we've seen some before of it.
I think we probably have, yeah.
There's, I think Ladies was a National Theatre of Scotland show.
Would you go see a Kylie Minogue jukebox musical? We should be so lucky. Lucky. Yes.
Yeah.
Why are downstairs seats called stalls in the UK but orchestra in America? Do you know, I don't know why.
No.
I just know that they are.
Yeah.
They have benches at Bristol Hippodrome too, and my first time I went there, I saw Annie up there, and it was horrible. Sean probably has a story about that, being from the West Country and having frequently visited the Bristol Hippodrome. Ashton says we can help if you want to see the mouse.
Ashley!
Oh, hello, Ashley. Hi, we miss you. Ashton, I will absolutely be taking you up on that.
Always.
Don't joke about these things.
No, anything involved with Disney.
Any news on a trip to NYC? We will tell you when we have booked flights, which might happen next week. We want to see Ragtime. We've said that much already, so that kind of gives you a sense of when we want to be in the country.
Leo, I'm fascinated.
Oh. Brian, stop. Brian, don't use our chat for having send a text. Get a carrier pigeon. Get a fax machine. Email. Skywrite. Just based on architecture and sightlines, what is your favorite London theatre? We both love the Prince Edward.
Yes.
Love the Old Vic. What's got the best sightlines? Probably the National. Probably the Olivier at the National has great sightlines.
Yeah, the National. I think, but like if I was talking West End, it might actually be the Prince Edward. Oh no, there is another theatre.
While you think about that,
Gillian Lynn.
There we go. So excited for it. Not if you're on the front row. Front row. The stage is high. I had a front row Cinderella experience where I was like,
there was a theatre that we recently talked about where every seat is good because there's no pillars.
There's lots of theatres that have no pillars.
But it was like specifically, even on the furthest across seats, it's really nice. I want to think about that. We definitely mentioned one. Mickey is savage.
I can't believe people are asking Ashley for the best shows to see in London this October, and we are right here. Wow. Wow. Kate is savage. Mickey is just British. There we go. There's one T in British, Brian. Savage.
We're always like, what are the shows that convince Ashley and Kate to come to the UK? That's always interesting.
My mother and sister are seeing Phantom and Hadestown while I'm at Musical Con. How fun. Hope everyone enjoys their weekend. What's one Disney musical that hasn't been announced or in the making but should be done?
Oh.
It's always very hard to answer.
I'm
sure I've had an answer to this before. Hunchback's already happened.
I want to go Rogue.
just don't know. Encanto makes
Enchanted.
I'm against this.
I'm not.
We've had this conversation. You can't do it. You cannot do Enchanted on stage. The charm is about turning from cartoon to reality.
But I think this is now more possible. There's holograms. Holograms are something that Disney's very into. Pepper's Ghost is something that Disney are very into. There's
Pepper's Ghost looks like people. I'm against this. It is about animation explicitly.
But I think this
it's
is
a
why
tribute
I
to
want
animation on film. I don't think it works on stage. Sound off in the comments if you agree with me, and if you agree with Aaron, just don't say anything. Mickey, if you could produce a non-replica production of any Frank Wildhorn show, what show would it be and why? Jekyll and Hyde, my beloved Jekyll and Hyde. I would put together a lovely Jekyll and Hyde, and I care about it very much. And I know they're working on it, and no one involved in this production is watching these live streams, I promise you. However, that's very interesting timing as I answer this YouTube question, isn't it? If anyone involved in the new Jekyll and Hyde UK workshops that they did last year or the year before is watching this, what you have done to In His Eyes is not necessary. Put it back. That song did not need changing. Brian, don't at me. There's a lot of value in Jekyll and Hyde. It's a guilty pleasure. Like they all like Diana. It's the same.
Ashley's giving you an instant.
Tell us about your next live show. Well, funny you should ask, Ashley. I will be appearing at the Phoenix Arts Club beneath the Phoenix Theatre in the West End on the 22nd of September. It's a musical theatre chat show. I'll be chatting to musical theatre guests. I'll be singing a little bit. I'll be talking. I may share some of the thoughts that are slightly too bold or honest for me to share in permanent YouTube videos, but maybe I'll be saying them on stage at the Phoenix Arts. People who come can ask any questions. We do a little bit of a Q&A. We'll be chatting with the audience. It's a nice, lovely vibe. We had a lovely time last time. You can see what it was like in the trailer for it that is pinned on my Instagram. It's also, I think, on TikTok. It's definitely on YouTube. Search MickeyJoTheatre Live. I'll be joined by Jodie Jacobs, Evelyn Hoskins, and Jack Godfrey, who is previewing a new song from a new show of his, all very exciting. And if you can't make it in person, we do a live stream as well. So there you go. Is there any news on whether Sweeney Todd will be coming to the West End? It's all gone a bit quiet with Sweeney Todd. Not a musical, but will you be seeing the play? Oh, we've answered this one. I saw Little Shop at the Ogunquit Playhouse in Maine, and Latrice Royale from RuPaul's Drag Race played Audrey too, and she was stunning. Looked amazing. Saw clips from that. The costumes, Latrice's performance all looked fantastic, and we need to visit Ogunquit at some point. We've heard it talked about so much. On the topic of Sweeney Todd, did you know Royal Opera House once did Sweeney? I think I did know this. Did you see Emma Thompson's Miss Lovett? I did, yes. That was a great production. But it was Rosalie Craig and John Owen Jones who stole that production for me. They were fantastic vocally.
Oh, Ellen, recommendations for Broadway shows for next July.
Hard to know what it's going to look like.
I was going to say, it's difficult to know what's still on.
Everything changes.
I feel like, I know it's annoying, but I feel like in January there's probably a better idea. I think definitely try and, well, Titanique's in Australia now, so you've already got it. I was just going to say that, and Hadestown will be in.
Watch this space, by which I mean Aaron's TikTok and my YouTube and both of our Instagrams, because we will be posting. We'll probably have gone to New York once or twice at least before then, and we'll be updating, reporting on everything as it opens, and hopefully that will help. But it's kind of hard to say what's going to still be around, what's going to have come in new, because like a year before or months before this season we didn't know of The Notebook, of The Outsiders, like which ones would be the really popular ones. Very hard to say. A lot of people are talking to each other in the comments. I'm just trying to see. Just got back from MJ the Musical, loved it. Off to Cabaret tomorrow.
Ooh,
You're having a very stagey week.
Yeah.
Are you fans of Arthur Miller? Yeah, I like a little bit of View from the Bridge. I like a little bit of All My Sons. I like a little bit of Death of a Salesman.
I studied Death of a Salesman.
And also the Crucible. Are the Olivier Awards invite only? No, you can buy tickets.
Yeah.
We've never been invited to the Olivier Awards.
We've never been invited. We've only ever bought tickets.
Ever bought tickets. They have There's a very nice team who work on the Olivier Awards, and there's not much that they're able to offer. And it's the one day of the year that suddenly a lot of outlets who don't care about theatre 364 days of the year suddenly care about theatre, and they suddenly want to be on the carpet. So there's not a lot that they can do to offer a space. But I will say the Olivier Awards have never expressed any interest in having us there. And the fact we are there is only because we want to be there.
Yeah.
I will say that much. Maybe it'll change this year. Probably it won't. But probably we'll still buy tickets and go again because we like going. The reason we like going is because we spend all year working in London theatre, and it feels like our end of year Christmas party.
Yeah, it feels like the big moment, and you kind of want to be there to
celebrating with the
celebrate and to be there in the moment when people find out. And I feel like for example, this year when Amy Trigg won, to be in the room when she won,
And we got to see her
and to react,
afterwards.
and to see her after and to say congrats. Like
It's
it's moments like that.
Yeah, it's not good for content because it'll be much better for me to like react to them at home like I did the year that it was the pandemic. But yeah.
It's 3 years since Ellen first followed you on YouTube.
Oh wow.
Fellow 95 babies.
1995, year of the pig.
95.
Year of the pig.
No wonder you love pigs so much.
I do. I've already seen the Lehman trilogy. It's first from the Gillian in theatre with Nigel Lindsay. I would quite like to go back and see this new cast, and hopefully not have showstops this time because we saw the Lehman trilogy last longer than it needed to.
Yeah, it was a lot longer.
Yeah. Lots of talk about. Everyone's having a nice chat about Arthur Miller in the comments. How excited! I love that.
Oh, we don't know what's happening with Gatsby. I'll kind of believe it when I see it.
Yeah.
That's my current thing with Gatsby. I know there's tons of rumors about it, and it all kind of wouldn't surprise me if his rumors prove true. But also,
I would be delighted if Great Gatsby, the Florence Welsh Great Gatsby, announced for the Almeida this Christmas. I think that would be the craziest, messiest last minute.
I think everybody would be like acting.
OMG. I kind of want that to happen. Aaron MJ, if you go to Paris, try to see Fury at
We
Moulin
need
Rouge.
to go to Moulin Rouge.
We'd love to go to Moulin Rouge.
I feel like we need to go to the Moulin Rouge at some point.
Yeah.
Just to like understand the experience.
Should we do a? I know I turn everything into like challenges rather than just like fun travel. Should we try and see a matinee of Moulin Rouge and then make it to like the midnight show at the Moulin Rouge? That's doable.
Oh, that is doable. Yeah.
7 hours.
Yeah, that's probably doable.
You could do Eurostar there. I'm so happy we're getting Mark Strong and Michael Gold reunion this year. Yes, and Oedipus at the Wyndhams.
We've done the Panto.
Yep. Dolphin emoji specifically for Aaron. Oh. Why? Did you say something about dolphins?
I don't know.
Okay, well, he enjoys the dolphin emoji regardless.
Yeah, it's very fun.
Heard anything about 42 balloons? I will be applying.
Maybe it's just because I said that I like the animal emojis. I don't know.
I'll be applying advanced interrogation techniques at my live show. So if you want to hear if there is a future of 42, I'm so just bribing people to coming to the live show now. If you want to find out about the future of 42 balloons, you're going to have to come to the live show or buy a streaming ticket. I don't make the rules.
And I will be there if that convinces people.
I once wanted to see the Umbrellas of Cherbourg. I tried to convince my mother to go with me.
Fun fact about that production, Cynthia Erivo was in it.
Eva, thank you for signing up to be a MickeyJoTheatre Stars channel member. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. Channel members on my channel get early access to all of my videos. And now that we're doing more live streams and regular ones, maybe if people want, we could do members only live streams. Putting it out there. Possibility. What else do we have here? If you could revive a play production, what would you revive? Same cast, same production, same everything. The Inheritance. I would bring back The Inheritance because I want to see it again.
Alan asked, what time does your live show start?
It starts at 7:30 p.m. UK time, which is really the middle of the night in Australia, I think, isn't it? But I'm exploring the possibility of trying to find a way for people to watch it after the fact, not live. Right now, I don't know. I can't confirm that that's going to be possible right now. So if you definitely want to make sure you see it, then I apologize, Australians.
And Sam posted that they love being a channel member.
Oh, thank you, Sam. I really appreciate that.
And Sam, you're number one on here, on the TikTok.
Sam is number one. Sam is just so supportive.
Yeah.
4:30 a.m. Listen, it's a great start to the day. By the time the live show finishes, it'll be 6:30 a.m. You'll be ready to, I was going to say go to work, but possibly just go back to sleep. I'm so sorry. I apologize for the time difference. I didn't make this world.
We'd love to come and see Queens. I felt like it was on in London when we were away.
It's always timing. I've been so impressed
we
by
loved the
Queens at West End Live.
I was going to say we loved Queens at West End Live.
My friend Matthew from university was one of the understudies, I believe, in Queens.
Oh, wow.
I think, yes, the brilliant Matthew Westrip. So yes, would love to. Do you think there should be at some point a TikTok musical? There's been multiple TikTok musicals. They really thrived during the pandemic. The Ratatouille was one. The Bridgerton musical was another.
And they're now the composers of that, and they're writing the music for Moana too.
Yeah. Do you think Samantha Barks will do another musical now Frozen has closed? I think Elphaba is inevitable, and so is Fontaine. I think we will see her Elphaba and her Fontaine at some point.
I think she's now like I think especially in the UK, she's done a lot of TV recently in the past couple of years, defining her as a West End star and West End leading lady. So I can see her doing something again soon.
Yeah, the Mary Poppins tour, the production that was just at the Prince Edward in the West End, just closed last year, toured first and then came to town. So the tour is going to be that same production.
It will be that production.
Yeah. Eva, I've missed the context of this, but I hope you're okay. And I hope that we've maybe helped make your evening a little brighter. I've not had a playbill, but the worst program I've had is, we're talking about like bad playbill designs. Interesting.
Don't worry about Mary Poppins. That's kind of one of his babies.
And also, Cameron McIntosh does cut back on his shows nearly as much as a lot of other people.
Because Hamilton's not been cut back at all.
Hamilton is touring the UK with a Revolve, which does not happen.
And the tour production of Les Mis was
the same one as now in town. Yeah. Don't disparage the touring productions of Cameron McIntosh. Told the ticket seller at the Museum of Broadway that I only found out about it from a vlog in the UK. He said, "Oh, Mickey Jo." That's amazing. That's so silly.
That's so cool.
But so lovely.
I wonder if that's the same person at Museum of Broadway that we say hi to. A couple of times we've been there.
Yes, there's a staff member at Museum of Broadway who's always very lovely.
You can get this at both. Oh, so you definitely can get it at the West End. In the West End, but I feel certain that after it being in the West End, it's now on Broadway. Because I think when we went to see it on Broadway, or it was in Schubert Alley or Museum of Broadway, but this has definitely gone to the US as well.
Yeah. Do you think Annie will ever come back to the UK? Yeah, it comes back regularly. Yeah.
The new production is kind of like Foster? That's kind of the one that looks a little bit like the Matilda's set, but we come back.
Ashton says Death Becomes Her in Chicago is a must. Or Saw Death Becomes Her in Chicago, rather. It's now on Broadway, and it's a must. The camp, the tech.
I need to see Megan Hilty perform live. And Jaden Simard.
True. Callie said, I saw the movie of Death Becomes Her when it first came out when I was about 10, and it scared me so much I haven't seen it since. Maybe I should try it again. Let's all watch it together. Sorry, Backstage Live. I meant West End Live. Oh, I see. Yes. I would love to be backstage at West End Live. Again, I should get in touch and I should tell these people. I shouldn't keep having these thoughts quietly in my head. One of this year's, I won't say who, one of this year's West End Live hosts sent me a lovely message after West End Live to say that they had suggested that I should be involved in it in some capacity, which was very kind. Haven't seen Prima Facie. It's one of the most egregious, I know, I can't believe we haven't seen it either, but we missed it somehow in London, we missed it somehow in New York, and we've missed the National Theatre Live screenings, but we will see it at some point. We are determined.
Bye, Ellen. Hope you have a lovely day. Where's that Ellen?
Samantha Barks would sing the hell out of Evita. In terms of, I don't know how people feel these days about the casting of it.
Ooh, fun question. What hasn't been announced for next year that you think will definitely join on the West End stage?
Oh, I think next year we could see Burlesque trying for the West End next year.
Yeah, I can see that. I could see Becoming Nancy coming to the West End. And my fingers crossed, like this would be that maybe 42 Balloons will come to the West End. I wouldn't also be surprised if Babies comes back. I feel like those two shows of Jack Godfrey's both have such Babies did so well that I feel like Babies will return in some way soon.
Yeah. Going to Kathy and Stella closing tomorrow night. It'll be my first closing night, and I don't think I'm emotionally ready. Oh my goodness. Have a lovely time.
Yeah.
Let us know what it's like. We've been lucky enough to see that show. I mean, multiple times over its run. Probably one of our most seen musicals together of all time.
Yeah. Well, Ashley said that she wants to see Babies.
I want you to see Babies too.
You and Kate need to see it.
Beetlejuice is going to come here. It's just biding its time. Think about how long Mean Girls took. They don't rush. I would love to go see Beetlejuice on the cruise. We should.
Yeah.
Group
trip.
I don't know if it's still on Norwegian Cruise Line. It was for a long time.
Where's in Europe right now?
There we go. See, Ashley knows. Ashley's all up about it. Do you think Alan Cumming will come back to Cabaret? Personally, I don't think he would after the Rebecca Frecknell revival. I don't know. I think it would be strange to have anyone who did the Sam Mendes revival go into the Rebecca Frecknell revival because it's a very different production. What do you?
He says that forgetting that the current Sally in the Broadway production.
She didn't play Sally.
No, but she was in it.
That's demonstrably. That's not what I'm saying. That's
okay,
not what I'm saying.
Just not anybody that's been in both.
Reprising the same role in the same production. Just wheel you away. Oh no, I moved. Anyway, Alan Cumming has done Cabaret a lot. He's done it twice.
Gosh, only until Sunday. I didn't realize the cast change was that close.
For what?
Cabaret.
Wow. Rocky Horror Picture Show was great. Went to press night on Tuesday. Had a great time at it the other night. I will be doing a full Rocky Horror review video on YouTube because I love Rocky Horror, and I was getting very animated talking to Aaron about it. And I was like, I need to take this energy and put it into a YouTube video and talk about why I like this production, but also the dream, what I want Rocky Horror to be. Because I think it was very subversive and edgy and like sexy and fun when it was first around, and very like counterculture and queer. And now I think it's quite just like polished and clean and not quite as controversial. And I want to go back to it feeling like if there's any show where I want to be dancing around in a club, getting immersed, it's Rocky Horror. Where are we? More people asking about Beetlejuice. Every time we go live, people are asking. We will listen. The day I find out about Beetlejuice, I will be telling you in a video with black stripes behind me saying Beetlejuice is coming. I promise I'm not going to keep it a secret from you. I know that is all you want to know. Samantha Barks would be great in Six or Matilda the musical. She can sing either. We know this. Yes, I'm excited for the album of Sunset Boulevard with Nicole Scherzinger. Who among us is not? Will you be reviewing the London Transport Museum's play about the guy who designed the tube map? We were just talking about this the other night. I need to have a look at when that's happening.
I just realised that the phone for TikTok and the screen were flipped.
Yes. The Schmigadoon third season that has been cancelled was entirely written, and it was going to be Schmidt to the Woods. So it probably would have been The Woods in answer to your question. And I spoke to one of the writers the other day, and he confirmed it was all written, and it's really very upsetting. I would kind of rather it hadn't been written because then I don't feel the despair. And Ashley's going to see Schmigadoon in DC, so if you're not already following Ash Sees All the Theatre on TikTok, if you're not already following Ashley Hufford on your social media, then you need to be, because Ashley and Kate and all of our New York friends get to the New York shows and also the regional US shows that we are not able to because I don't have wings. Try as I might. Jennifer has got ticks for all 3 of the Mickey Jo live shows, presumably on the live stream, because hello from Nova Scotia. We've been to Nova Scotia, but briefly.
We spent a night in Nova Scotia in Halifax in the hotel right next to the airport.
Yes, we did. The Hilton Garden Inn. It was very nice. There were live lobsters at the airport. It was wild.
Oh, look! Ashley and Kate.
Yay, Ashley and Kate are both here on TikTok. How exciting. Can you say what is Rob Madge's new show? Rob Madge is about to start previews in a new production of Buyer and Seller, which Michael Urie first starred in. It's an imagined play about an actor who gets a job, who is hired to work in the basement of Barbara Streisand's home, which has been turned into a shopping mall. The story is fictional. The shopping mall in her basement is real. Hence the inspiration.
I didn't know about, so that fascinates me so much.
It's a great play. It's got a lot of real humanity to it. It's great for Barbara lovers. Yeah. This is how she stores all her stuff, because she has so much stuff. So it's like, do I want to put it in boxes or do I want to display it in a series of stores?
Does she ever get her friends to go down there?
You will find out about it when we go and see this play. I will be reviewing it.
Like literally being there and hearing about it. I have to see it just because I'm.
Yeah, it's off West End. It's at the King's Head Theatre in London for a little limited run, but it starts previews very soon. It opens officially on the 23rd, and you will see a review of it on my Instagram and TikTok. It won't be on YouTube, sadly. So make sure if you have those platforms, you're following me on those platforms. Can't stress that enough. But yeah, go and check that one out. Lovely little play. There's a production of The Importance of Being Earnest at the National soon, and what a cast it has. What is your least favourite Sondheim show? I think Anyone Can Whistle, the best production of Anyone Can Whistle, is still inherently super flawed. But he knew that, and we all knew that, and we're just pretending it's not if we're not saying it. But here we are. I don't really count Here We Are, because it's a David Ives play that has some Sondheim music. It's unfinished. It's hardly a musical. I will give it another chance, and I will maybe get it the next time. I don't think I got it for a handful of reasons. But yeah, those two. And I'm a little... I've never seen Passion live, so I can't really, but I'm a little cold on that.
I would love to see Tarzan come to the UK.
I just laughed at From Passion to Tarzan. It's the breadth of the shows that we talk about on here.
Oh, this is where we were all talking about Disney.
Yeah.
I think on there.
I like Anyone Can Whistle more than Forum. Interesting.
Forum was just wild when we saw it in Paris.
Anyone Can Whistle has more standalone songs that I enjoy. Give me the cast recording of Anyone Can Whistle over the cast recording of Forum, but Forum as a complete piece is functional, and Anyone Can Whistle just does not work. It has gaping sections of just bizarre nothing. The structure is so just weird. It's just like 3 long scenes. Just got back from the Anne Juliet tour. Haven't seen it since previews in Manchester in 2019. I saw it there too. And it's 100% the best touring production at the moment. The cast are all out of this world. Excited to go see it. Don't know where we're seeing it,
but we will see it.
We will. Susan has simply asked Moana. Oh, that was Disney shows to see on stage. There's a lot of water in Moana.
There's a lot of water in The Little Mermaid.
There is. Well, then that was its problem. Also, Kate and I have very different opinions on abstract, slow shows. Read Bell Ringers at the Edinburgh Fringe. And so I understand us feeling differently about Anyone Can Whistle. I understand that very, very well. Eva enjoyed Tarzan in Stuttgart in January. Erin is desperate for us to go and see that there. What show or musical do you want to see Jamie Lloyd direct next? I would love to see Jamie Lloyd working on a new play or a new musical. The man likes to revive, and I think it's because it gives him more creative autonomy. He is not working as closely with a writer.
He's working with the material that's already existing.
He gets to be the sole auteur. and I would like him to step out of that box. I am excited for The Tempest. I'm nervous for Much Ado About Nothing. I like the casting idea of Waiting for Godot on Broadway, but I just can't with that play. See also Slow Abstract. But yeah. Or something. What would be fun, like Jamie Lloyd, if he does have to do another musical revival? And I'm not against it. I like a Jamie Lloyd show, but I want it to be, if they brought back Jamie Lloyd's Assassins, just remounted that pre-cameras, it would, honestly, that was a stunning production at the Menier Chocolate Factory. I loved that.
I just feel like nobody would believe the fact that he directed 25th Annual Putnam County Spelling Bee.
These are my favourite bits of Jamie Lloyd lore. Do either of you have ambitions to one day write your own musical?
I don't know. I think at one point I did, but that was when I was like a teenager.
I did write my own musical when I was a teenager, with my friend Joe and my friend Tom, who is now my accompanist and musical director for MickeyJoTheatre Live, who is also, and I should say this here as well, Tom is now a legitimate professional musical theatre songwriter, because he's always been an exceptionally talented composer, and his musical, The House of Edgar, which was very successful at the Edinburgh Fringe, is going to be performed in concert at the Seven Dials Playhouse in London on Monday, the 23rd of September, the day after my live show. There's a small handful of tickets left, and it's got great people in it. Lauren Jones from Bonnie and Clyde and from Rebecca is going to be in it. Joaquin Pedro Valdez is going to be in it. Very exciting, and the music's gorgeous. We're sadly not free, or I would be there. But please go for me if you can get one of the last few remaining tickets. It's nearly sold out. But yes, we together years ago, back in sixth form in secondary school, wrote a musical version of Frankenstein. There were a couple of good songs in there, and also some more I'm embarrassed about.
I just read Ashton's thing about Disney creating original work on stage is exciting, but I think my thing that makes me a bit is with Aida. I feel like the future of Aida and productions, if they'd worked and tried at points to then take it to film or on an animated version or a filmed version, and to then make it more than known.
I disagree. I think
I just don't know if I trust. I feel like with somewhere like Disney, where they have all the platforms,
has a Disney film ever been improved upon by a stage version? I think there are great stage versions of films, but the films are always better. Have always been better. Even The Lion King, the film is better. Lion King on stage is fantastic, but the film is better.
Oh,
and I don't think there's ever. Here's my thing. I'm going to say this now. I think there are very few films that have ever been bettered by stage adaptations. And I think there are very few musicals that have ever been bettered by film adaptations. And I think writing for that medium specifically rather than adapting is always preferable. So I too would welcome Disney developing something newly for the stage. You go.
I'd say there's something that Disney everywhere in the theme parks and on.
You don't have to build up to it. You can just say it.
Well, Shadowland. Shadowland is a song now. It's everywhere.
Do you think Lion King is better as a film or on stage?
I don't know, but instantly I was stage.
Fair enough. I think that's a controversial take. Sound off in the comments. Ashley says Aida is the best musical Disney has ever done. I love the Aida cast recording so much. I told Heather Headley that at the stage door for The Bodyguard. I said I love you on the cast recording of Aida. I listened to it on the train on the way here. Bear in mind, I'm like a little nervous 18-year-old homosexual at this point. I think she was like, "Thank you, baby."
And we don't know about Hunchback.
How do you mean?
Because I think how they've developed Hunchback for the stage.
Newsies is the answer.
Oh, Newsies is the answer.
Newsies is the answer because they reworked it. It's a different animal, and it was redeveloped, and it became a different thing on stage. But that was a flop. But that wasn't a successful film to begin with. But you are correct. You are right. Ashley disagrees.
Oh,
Heat in the comments.
My thing with Disney and like
Kate disagrees.
wow.
You think the Newsies film is better? I've not watched the whole Newsies film. I've only seen excerpts, so I really can't weigh in here. But maybe we need to watch the Newsies film with Sean and figure out where we stand on this controversial issue. I'm going to try and get through some more YouTube comments because we're getting very stuck into Disney. But Ashton, I agree with you.
Very excited for Great Comet.
Yeah, very excited for Great Comet, and I hope we get casting really soon.
Yeah.
It's got to be soon. What do you think a 25th annual Putnam County Spelling Bee movie would be like? You know the show better than me.
I don't know, but I think it could work.
Are there any songs you irrationally dislike? I can't put into words, but I really dislike Send in the Clowns despite liking almost everything else Sondheim. Probably, but I think they're also I'm such an opinionated person, as you may have noticed, that I was about to say the songs I dislike are objectively bad. If I dislike them, it's because they're bad. I'm never irrational. I'm aware I sound ridiculous. I'm being ironic. I was going to do a video, and I might do this if this sounds fun, of talking through like the worst song in every musical, just going through a list of loads of musicals, being like, this is the skip. This is the worst song. And that was inspired by being at Guys and Dolls the other night. I love that show. I love that production. I think it's one of the greatest musical comedies of all time. The song that Arvide Abernathy sings to Sarah Brown, music, I can wish you. Sometimes it charms me because the performer does it so sweetly, but it's such a skip. It is such a skip. So yeah, worst song and everything. Give me a show and I'll tell you the worst song in that show.
Wicked.
A Sentimental Man popped into my head. It's That or Something Bad, isn't it? Like we all know that's not we all know what the skips are in Wicked. And the fact they made it onto the cast recording and Wicked Witch of the East didn't remains a tragedy.
Les Mis.
The worst song in Les Mis, Dog Eat Dog. I think Thénardier, and I like that it adds that dark dimension to his character, but I just don't think like there's a war on. Why are we spending so much time?
Kinky Boots.
That's a lot.
No, you can hold it until you do a video.
That's a lot on Kinky Boots.
Also rude.
I'm gonna have to narrow that down. Maybe everybody say yeah. It's the end of Act 1. You have this euphoric moment. There's so much to say. And you know what they say? Yeah, say yeah, say yeah. It's like Cyndi Lauper went out to lunch and they're like, no, we need this number now. We're staging it. And it's like, we have her music, but we don't know what the lyrics were. Like, Cindy, you didn't write a lyric for this. He's pushing me out of the frame, everyone. Everybody.
Much better.
Everybody say yeah, say yeah, say yeah. What is that?
Oh. Ashley says, Google for Broadway,
the Broadway skip song by Mike Dash. We'll have to listen.
Fascinating.
There you go.
Brian says Akimbo has no skips.
Now, Brian. I'm going to have to think about it. It's because Akimbo is very character driven.
There's songs I would skip if I was listening to the cast recording.
Because they're in service of the dramatic moment.
Yeah.
It's also because you're not wrong, Brian. That's the first time I think I've said that on a live. You're not wrong, Brian.
I think it depends if you're listening to them versus
back up.
what they do for the.
We should probably wrap this up in the next 15 minutes or so. Oh my gosh. Oh, I am really further behind than I thought.
Oh my gosh. We are so sorry, but we're so well being.
Wow. Okay, we were here. Good luck in your school musical playing Mushnik in Little Shop. My school did that, and a girl from the girls' school also played Mushnik. Ogunquit is really nice, as we have heard. Can't stand when Velma takes the stand. It's not a lot to listen to. You have to watch it for the choreography.
Actually, I kind of agree. Anagram automatically skip.
Oh, Mickey, Ricky, Wicky.
Kate says happy for her.
I should be happy. Oh yes, that is the worst
Oh,
song in the
yeah.
show. Kate wins. There we go. Yeah, Kiala Settle doing Fly More Than
Yeah.
You Fall. How exciting.
Off West End, Kiala Settle.
Yeah. Inside Out makes proper sense to be a staged musical. The adult version would be next to normal. You're not wrong. Is there
I
any
can
update on
see
the
that.
Beetlejuice West End transfer? Not in the last 15 minutes. Looking forward to your next Olivier's outfits. I'm looking forward to a more generous suit this time that I don't have to diet for a month to just about fit into. That was a choice that I made for myself. Thoughts on the closing of Mrs. Doubtfire? They will be coming to you on Monday. There are very specific reasons Mrs. Doubtfire is closing. It's not because it's not doing well. It's to do with technicalities. And the next show going into that theatre, which you will be finding out about on Monday.
Newsies, the thing that's been said before is that 2025 in the UK, but we'll find out.
The rumour is that it's touring. Theatre Fan reported the rumour that the show is going to tour. Heya from Amsterdam. Hello in Amsterdam. You're getting Hadestown next year.
An English language version as well, which means there are going to be 2 English language production of sort of Hadestown very close to each other.
Yeah. Have you ever thought of just doing some like day in the life vlogs? I love the theatre trips, but would love to see more of Mickey and Aaron content.
So
That
this
is most
is a
of our
question I
life.
have, is whether it's like, do we do another Broadway announcement coming Monday?
They're trying to kill me. I can't with all this.
And Ashley said, should we come for the Oliviers?
Yes.
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 That would be really fun.
Let's all go to the Oliviers.
Yay. On the Day in My Life vlogs. So on my side, I've been doing I started doing just the videos again where it's just like us going to a show. But then I've been dabbling in there. Do I do like just a weekly vlog where it's like a pull together of all the things we do in a week? Fun things, and it does what your Oh My God Hey used to do. And we can do bits of in the life in it. And that way. I don't know. Let us know if you would prefer one way or the other, because I'm very unsure which way to go with my YouTube. So that would be nice to know.
Beetlejuice West End is not dead in the water. It's just taking its sweet old time. Richard, enjoy cake next Thursday. Tell us all about it. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about Cursed Child on here. No disrespect to the people working on that show, the company of that show. But there is no way to financially support it or for me to platform it as a content creator and someone who influences and talks about theatre tickets without financially supporting J.K. Rowling. And we're not doing that.
I'm just going to charge my phone because I'm seeing people saying something's been announced today. And I have not seen this.
I was just about to Google that. And like, this cable is having an adventure. Will you come see the Hadestown and Amsterdam version next summer? And any idea who might be in it? No idea who might be in it. I wouldn't be surprised if they took previous cast members, because a lot of European productions pull from a lot of different places.
Ellen, you're back. I thought you'd left to have your day.
Lots of other great things here.
RTE radio, is that Dutch radio?
I don't
Or is that Irish radio? Can't remember which one RTE is. Or is it German radio?
Eva, I'm sorry to hear that. I hope the day has improved.
I'm sending you a lot of love.
Yeah. Yes, you will be getting a review of Rocky Horror at the Dominion, starring Jason Donovan. Yes, Rhiannon, well done for battling with the jet lag.
Yeah.
It is a process. Dan John says, I'm going to be evil. You have the option to axe either Phantom or Les Mis. Phantom.
Yeah.
I like Phantom.
I'm learning to like Phantom more.
It lives in the same guilty pleasure part of my brain that likes Jekyll and Hyde.
RTE is Ireland.
I thought it was Irish.
Irish radio.
I chose not to say anything. Megan Hilty is incredible. That is correct. Richard says, if Megan doesn't come here with The Death Becomes Her, I'll kick someone. He wants it to be Louise Dearman, which is not a bad shout.
Louise Dearman and Dan Pilkington.
Yeah.
That's my pair.
Do you think there would be, how much of a comparison do you think there would be with audiences with the two different productions of Oedipus? You mean the Oedipuses, the Oedipi? I think a lot of people will go to both.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It's really interesting. And I'm going to be very interested to follow it.
And Dira Varma is formidable on stage, and I think that excites me a lot.
So is Leslie Manville. Enjoy Alton Towers. Saw Gatsby at ART. It needs another run, so fingers crossed it transfers here or over the pond. But oh my gosh, it must wait for Soleil to be free again because she was flame
That's
emoji,
what we've
flame
heard
emoji,
from our friends.
flame emoji. Renee Rapp said she'd love to be in Cabaret, which got me thinking, would you like to see a female? Who would you like to see as a female MC, and would it work? I think it would. Chapel Roan female MC in Cabaret. I think it could. I think in this production, the MC is not a person in this production. The MC does not feel gendered in this production. Brian, the business analyst, is going to disagree with me, but he will be wrong. I think the MC in this production represents Germany. Only if we get a good production of Cabaret. Brian, you don't get nice things. Yeah, I think that would work as well.
I enjoyed the concert of Chess, but it does confuse me a lot as a musical.
I like Chess. Chess is another guilty pleasure love for me. Jekyll and Hyde Chess.
Samantha Bach singing that score was very fun, and Joel Halper Jackson's voice, insane.
I wonder if we need to go back to the Broadway. I don't know if the Broadway version of Chess was the best narrative, but I think somewhere between the two is the perfect Chess. I don't know that we've done it yet. It does have a different book every single time, and a different person sings someone else's story every single time. Am I Taylor Swift now? I'm perhaps we both like Cats the musical. Any tips for this is a great question. Any tips for making NYC or Broadway trips more affordable apart from Rush and Lottery? Also, hotels are ridiculously expensive. If you don't already, go follow Gen with a hard G on TikTok and Instagram. Gen does really great content around accessibility and affordability in New York. It's you kind of got to pick an inexpensive time of year. March is one of those. It is very tricky. There's also TDF. Google that, look into it. There is also TKTS in Times Square. That's not the cheapest. You know about Rush, you know about Lottery.
And to anybody saying about the show being announced today, it's not been.
Oh, there you go. Also, you don't have to stay in Manhattan. You don't have to stay in the theatre district. You can stay in Brooklyn. You can travel in. You can travel in pretty good. There's people who commute in from Jersey, and I know you want like the Broadway experience. It doesn't make a huge difference to us from when we stayed in the theatre district in Hell's Kitchen versus staying in Brooklyn.
Yeah, that makes sense, Ellen, and I'm so sorry that it's like that for getting from Australia to New York or to London.
Yeah. I'm down next week to see Chapel Roan on Friday. I'm so jealous. So cool. Got a Bohemian seat this morning for Thursday afternoon, then seeing Cake in the evening. What's a birthday without cake? Well, that's amazing. Happy birthday to you for then. What a few days you are going to have. Going to see Becoming Nancy in its debut run in Birmingham. Yes, so are we.
Jocelyn, that was very funny.
Yes. Meow Meow would be a good MC. Do you know anything about 13 Going on 30?
They said next year. I think when it went. So when 13 Going on 30 did the workshop, I think in the press release or something, it was like aiming for the next year for a production or the year after. Workshop?
It was this year.
I think so. It was either. No, it might not have been a year away. I think it was 2 years away they'd put the date up. Yeah. I remember there was a press release, I think, or whatever coverage, and I think they put like a year they were aiming for.
Yeah. I don't think chess can't be done now because of Russia and everything. I think chess is more topical now because it's historic. It's about the Cold War. It's not about today.
And so we love Ogie.
We do. We miss Ogie
so much. 13 Going on 30 is called Suddenly 30 in Australia.
Yeah, which is also, I mean, that is the plot of the film. Rocky Horror definitely needs a set refresh, etc. It feels too clean and safe now. Exactly. I agree. Hello, Bruce. I'm so sorry. I have seen your email. I'm horrible at replying to emails at the best of times, as many other people who have emailed me will know, but I will get back to you. It is on my today. I'm narrowing it down. The trouble is I get a lot of new press releases come through and then I'm just like whittling it down. and you were in my last 16 emails to reply to, and I'm going to reply to you. Thank you so much for emailing. I have seen you, so do not worry. You're not in the spam folder. I'm just awful.
I've noticed a lot of friends or people we know end up messaging me.
I don't reply to my parents. I'm very bad at this.
So sometimes, not always, sometimes I'm overwhelmed with messages as well, I will say, but sometimes I can help.
Yeah.
Nudge them.
I saw a non-replica production of Rocky Horror ages ago abroad, and it was done as a black and white comic. All the set was in black and white, as well as Brad and Janet. Oh, wow. That sounds very Take On Me by Aha. You know, the music video where it's the comic strip come together.
Oh, yes. Vaguely actually do know it. Wow.
What a music video that was.
Into me.
I do as well. As why my energy's become slightly frenzied, but I'm determined to get through these questions.
We'll switch in a sec.
D, glad you enjoyed And Juliet in Glasgow. Did I ever see the 2014 production of On the Town? No, that was before our time in New York. Any New Yorkers here see On the Town in 2014? It was last in the UK at Regent's Park Open Air Theatre, which Aaron saw. Well, I didn't. No, we never got Rocky. They did it in, was it Germany? Did they do Rocky in Germany? I think it would do well in the West End. Anything based on the film is going to do better in the West End. Yes, Dan John, we've seen Only Murders in the Building. We recently rewatched the first few seasons of Only Murders in the Building. And yes, Jamie Lloyd, Mother Courage. That is interesting. Jamie Lloyd's City of Angels. That's also interesting. What else do we have here? I think Aida is so good music-wise, but the book isn't good at all. I've never seen it on stage, so I cannot weigh in. Amy prefers the Lion King animated film. Calla says it's better on stage. There you go.
Ooh.
We're still gridlocked on that one.
Do you want me to tap you out so I can carry?
I'm going to work through a few more. Oh, I've lost it. I've totally lost it.
You go now and I'll switch. Tap.
People are mad at me for no, I just need to get back to where we were. It's not that far back. I went to London for a second time last week to see Next to Normal before it closes and heard a rumor about a pro shot. Yeah, they filmed it. They filmed it this week.
No info yet on distribution, probably.
But what we're hearing is that we won't have to wait as long as we usually do for these pro shots. Rose's Turn, done via cameras, actually has given me goosebumps at the mere idea. Yes. We definitely need to watch the Lucy's film. Elf is coming back to Broadway at the Marriott Marquis. We were saying Broadway doesn't seem to do like Christmas runs.
No, this year though it's doing Elf and Annie.
Yeah.
But Annie's not on Broadway.
We get a lot more of that in the UK,
round.
things just popping up for shorter. But it's easier to make money on a shorter run in the UK than it is in New York. It costs so much just to put something up in New York.
And I was going to say, we fill all gaps.
Yeah.
The Aladdin Pro Shot, I don't think we'll see.
6 is going to, you'll see 6. You're never going to see the Aladdin Pro Shot, sadly. Who is your favourite musical theatre? What's your favourite?
Oh yeah, Kiss Me Kate's been filmed as well. I forgot about that.
Your favourite musical song at the moment out of any musical? I'm going to think about that in the bathroom. Excuse me. Okay.
Oh, I would say, okay, a song in a musical that I can't stop talking about would be Disco Ball from Why Am I So Single? It is incredible. That is a massive, massive, great, great, great song. Right. What non-replica production would you like to see? Mine is Wicked. Mickey loved the Brazil production of Wicked. I would love to see. Everybody always says that they really want to see a different version of Chicago. But I think I would like to see a different production of. I'm trying to think of what's like not been done for a long time. So I'm gonna say oh, I'm stumped. I guess Evan Hansen, actually, I'm kind of really excited to see how different it is. We're seeing it next week, so maybe that's just why it's on my mind. But I think that. I haven't seen, actually. I have not seen a non-replica production of Wicked. Mickey has. So I would like to see a non-replica production in person. Also, this is so weird, just me being here. It's very weird. Gray Henson is amazing casting for Buddy in Elf.
We love her. I'm back.
I don't know. I had taken over. This was my channel.
No.
What do you think will happen with Bedknobs and Broomsticks? I don't know. I think the future of that musical lands with Disney.
Yeah.
I think, in all honesty, I mean, it doesn't look like it's not been made available for licensing. So I feel like Disney it's there with Disney, and Disney will decide what happens.
Yeah, Bringing On the Musical was underrated. I saw a production in the UK.
I've really seen it.
Yeah, and you're right. It launched many stars. Worst song is the boxing scene.
In this corner. It's not
like
the
that
vocals.
vocal. Yeah, I don't think that's the worst.
I also like that it gives.
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! What a man! What a man! What a man! What a man!
Oh yeah!
What a man!
That one.
What a man! What a man! What a man! What a man! Yeah, that's the worst. What else do we have here? Wish they bring back Rock of Ages. I've never seen it on stage. So
I love Rock of Ages.
People are mad that I dislike everybody. Say yeah. I mean, I would love to know. Sondheim was still alive when Kinky Boots came out. I would just love to hear his thoughts. Mamma Mia 25th anniversary USA tour has a Latin Sophie and the Black Eyed Sky. It's awesome. Nice. It's nice to see diverse casting in Mamma Mia, because that's not a show where you usually do, actually. Just saw Mean Girls tonight in the West End, and I must say it's such a great musical. Got to see understudy Damien, who was phenomenal and so funny. Janice had one of my favourite voices ever.
Amazing.
Over the Moon from Rent is Charles's worst song from Rent. Charles, mine is one that comes a few songs after that, in the middle of La Vie Bohème, when they sing, "Well, here we go."
You get really bored of that song.
Now we... Oh no. It slows right down. I understand its necessity. I don't like it. How's Slave Play doing? Is it a financial success? Nobody knows. Very hard to say in the West End.
We don't share.
Grosses are not made public.
No.
They don't announce if they recoup.
No, we don't get any of our capacities or anything like that.
We don't know.
And even if you went and looked at the seating chart, that's not actually accurate because of how ticketing works.
Holly, glad you enjoyed Cabaret and the Kit Kat Club. See, yeah. Brian, people like it. Do you think Oasis will get a musical? Is nothing sacred. I understand. Do you know what? I didn't understand until recently how much Oasis meant to people. I purely was like, that was a band that happened. I did not know how ingrained, how meaningful Oasis was in the British personality. My goodness, they do not need a musical.
Ooh, Ellen, a new Aussie musical has just released its cast recording, which is so exciting. It's really exciting that that Australia's that we're seeing so many Australian musicals being written and performed, but also that they're doing cast recordings. But it gets to me that they're never made available worldwide, because with Muriel's Wedding, I've listened to the whole cast recording, but there is no way you can't stream it outside of Australia. So I wish that was made available, because I feel like so many more people would have been introduced to Muriel's Wedding better than having to find weird ways to get to listen to it. And I kind of don't really understand why that's the case. That's been my frustration for ages. Is it's like Muriel's Wedding's a big musical that's done well, yet that cast recording wasn't made available worldwide, even though it's on there. Oh
no, I have got further than this. This is okay. No, I've lost myself again. Oh no, I'm here. This is fine. This is fine. This is okay. Okay. We have been to Ellen's Stardust Diner.
Brian, that's massive lies.
What's Brian saying? Brian just wants attention. Don't feed the plants. On the topic of Ellen's Stardust, do you think the movie Stardust should be a musical? I love the movie Stardust. I feel like that got a bit forgotten, and that should be better remembered. That would be a fun musical. Yeah, and people are agreeing in the comments. Are you going to see Evan Hansen on tour? This very week, we are going to Nottingham.
Yeah.
We are excited. Stay tuned for lots of Evan Hansen content on his channels, on my channels, all over the place. Do you think the West End cast of 6 will get new photos since there's a new Jane Seymour? I don't know.
Oh, hello, James. James just put, are you guys coming to see Fly More with Kiala?
Well, I've forgotten when it is, but it is on our radar, and
It's
we
very
would love
exciting.
to. Yes.
Oh, we're here.
Yes. Saw Murder on the Orient Express at the Lowry tonight. I really enjoyed it. Not normally my thing, but I've seen more plays than musicals this year. There are so many plays in the UK this year, especially coming up. Many plays. Charlie Stemp would be a very good lead for Stardust, or it'd be I think a young unknown, or like a Jack Wolfe type.
I'm very excited to see what Charlie Stemp does next.
Yeah. I love Meadowlark from The Baker's Wife. I've heard it sung twice this summer. I heard Lucy Jones do it in The Baker's Wife at the Menier Chocolate Factory, and
Alex
Newell sing it in concert. What's a show that you never want to see adapted into a movie? Lots. Don't touch another Sondheim. They don't go well. Never been to West End Musical Brunch, but would love to, because I like West End musicals and I like brunch. And I feel like that combines two fun things together. And I love going to like a brunch event. I've had great times at like drag brunches and bottomless brunches. Always a party. Were you able to watch Anastasia the musical? No, that was before our time in New York. Will Avenue Q ever come back to London? I don't know if London. It seems to have had a healthy life touring around in recent years. Will Stomp ever come back? I don't know. Do you think you'll be able to invite Kit Buchanan and Jim Barn to your live show? I would love to. I've got some composers lined up for the next few, but hopefully when we get dates sorted for the new year, that's a great idea. Hello from Toronto. Hello, Jane in Toronto. Thank you so much. We want to go back to Toronto. I don't know when, but we would love to. Moulin Rouge is opening this week in the Netherlands. They've kept the songs in English. Yeah, this is something that happens a lot because like MJ and Julia are both keeping songs in English in Hamburg. Is West End Stage Door organisation becoming better? Some of them. The Lyric has a setup now for Hadestown that looks quite organised. It is 1 a.m. for us, yes.
Yeah.
On that note, we are probably going to need to bring this to a close. We've kind of addressed all of these, but hopefully we will be live again this time or a similar time next weekend. But if you want more Mickey Jo and Aaron content, you can come and see us in person.
Yeah.
It's at the live show. The live shows are going to be monthly, is the plan. It's monthly residency. You can come see us in person at MickeyJoTheatre Live at the Phoenix Arts Club on September 22nd is the next one. You can also stream it online. I have brilliant guests. It's going to be fantastic performances. We're going to have to wrap this up now because I'm doing a park run in the morning in about 8 hours' time. But yes, thank you so much for joining us, both on TikTok and on YouTube. It's been lovely spending the evening with you all.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you. Lots of videos coming soon. Stay tuned. More vlogs over the weekend. Theatre news coming in hot on Monday. Reviews coming next week.
And don't forget to kind of find us on all different platforms. I'm Aaron James UK, and Mickey is MickeyJoTheatre. Mickey's getting close towards 9K on TikTok. So can we get him over there?
I am. That would be fun. Yeah, if you don't yet follow me on TikTok, I'm trying to do more TikToking. So go follow me on TikTok and then I will. And if you don't yet if you're not yet subscribed to Aaron on YouTube, Aaron has been making more theatre going vlogs on YouTube. He is tagged in this very YouTube live. So just click his name in the title of this live and go subscribe to him as well. And that would be hugely appreciated. In the meantime, I hope that everyone is staying safe and that you have a stagey day.
Bye.
Bye-bye. 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 I can't see the emblem. Is it behind your face? Yes, there it is. Bye-bye. 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 Bye-bye.